Trollord Games. Join.
Okay, and hello everyone. This is your Castle Keeper Sam, and I am here with our Pools of Narrheit game, and I am here with my awesome players. So if you could introduce yourselves, let's start with Leonise first.
Hey, good evening everyone. I'm Chris, playing Leonise Wallander. She's a Shindalay High Elf, playing as an Oralu. So elf as class, basically.
And Bert.
Hey guys, I'm Alex, and I'm playing as Bert Longfellow, a Halfling Rogue.
And Jake.
I'm George, and I'll be playing Jake Tildor, Cleric of Durandale.
And Bernie.
I'm Richard Clayton. I'm playing Bernie Combe. He is a young man with a big axe. A desire to hit things with it.
And Zeno.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Matt. I'm playing Xenolestimus Fey, who is a monk.
And last but not least, Rekmit.
Hi, I'm Robert, playing Rekmit Sourbeard, a Dwarven Runemark who likes to stay behind the guys with the big axe.
Okay, so who wants to do the recap?
I believe we had a volunteer.
I can do it. Alright, so last episode we had, I believe, Bernie and Zeno up at the top of a very long 200-foot, trapdoor tunnel thing. And they had found what turns out to be some kind of vampiric fae. I think everyone went up the tunnel except Rekmit, just sitting at the bottom, who knows what doing. And apparently, Zeno and Bernie became enthralled in some way with this fae, and the other players jumped into the action to try and get them out of it. I think it was Jake tried to slap or smash Bernie into a wall to break him out of it, and that didn't work. Eventually, Rekmit made his way up to the top and tried to slap Zeno, get him out of it. That didn't work. And then I think the fae then started to drink Zeno's blood. I think battle ensued. Rekmit managed to vanquish the fae some odd way. Then we found that the temple turned out to be 10 miles away from where we had entered into the pools of Narrheit or Centipede Complex under the mushrooms. I believe we decided we kind of broke some of the windows, trashed the altar, and decided to try and get to a town. I believe we were going to make our way to Half Hill. Or Half Hill? Yeah, Half Hill.
Yeah.
And as we got down the hill and got close to the road, we were attacked by... They were some kind of raptor-y type turkey chicken raptor thing. They started. I think they knocked. They took Bert, knocked him to the ground. They knocked Jake to the ground. Managed to dispatch the one that was on Bert without getting too much damage to him. And as the battle ensued, apparently Jake was gravely wounded, and we managed to scare off the creatures. And then managed to get him back to at least, I think, 1 hit point, so barely back to health, and I think that's where we left it last episode.
So on the screen right now is the creatures that attacked, that he's referring to as chickens or whatever.
Turkey raptors.
Turkey raptors, yes. If it starts going gobble gobble, then we know that it'll be a problem. So the question is, how damaged is Jake?
Jake is at 1 hit point. He was at -1 hit point, I believe.
And is anybody else really damaged? I know Zeno took some damage when the Fey vampire, good smelling whatever person took his blood. He was damaged.
Bert got a little
He
scratched
is
up.
at... Yeah, Zeno did get healed by Jake before he went down. And I'm at 6 hit points.
Okay.
So just 4 down.
Okay. And you said Bert got beat up
Yeah.
too?
Bert's down 2 from his total of 6, so he's sitting at 4.
Okay. Right, because Bert was also... Bert and Jake were in the back, so they got ambushed from
Yeah, I
behind.
got jumped by the turkeys.
Right. By the turkeys, yes. Sure. Okay, so how would you like to proceed? You are actually at the road. Remember, there were still 2 of these creatures alive, as far as you could tell.
Okay. Well, if Jake could walk, we'll let him walk, and if we got to carry him, we got to carry him.
So I think he's still incapacitated, right?
He's at 1 hit point.
After coming back from less than 0, is he back up on his feet, or does he have to?
That is for him to decide. Mechanically speaking, he's at 1 hit point, so he is not unconscious.
So Zeno will go over to Jake. Are you okay? Can you walk, my friend?
Just don't slap him.
Yeah. There he's down again. I can walk. Actually, I carefully sit back down. I begin putting bandages on. That would probably be a good idea to. Oh wait, I think I was already bandaged.
Yeah, you already.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
we
Yeah.
bandaged.
bandaged you to get you back up to 1.
We got to get out of here before those things regroup and potentially attack us again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't have our cleric of Durndale in trouble.
So why don't we have Bernie in the front, and then we'll have Jake in the middle, and then we could just kind of make a circle around him so he's in the center.
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea. So,
Hey, Jake,
We need-
I can come in there and help you.
I'll confirm the direction we need to go, and then head that way.
Okay.
And as we leave, Leonese will cast dancing lights off to the left, So away from the direction we're going in. We'll just have them
Okay.
doing something. And then she'll get her bow ready.
Okay. And so what was your marching order? You're putting Jake in the middle?
Yeah, Jake in the middle, and then kind of surrounding him in a circle. Bernie will be out front. Zeno will cover the back.
Leonese will take the right.
I guess Reckman will go on the left, but try to stay close to Jake in case he needs help.
Yep.
And Bert, where are you?
Yeah, it makes Bert, I guess, kind of near the back.
Okay.
Well, now that we mention it, I think Reckmit's ruin is what brought Jake back.
Yeah.
Well, we did two. He did two ruins. He did one from himself and one from me.
Yeah, that's the damage I think that Bernie and I have is a little bit.
But I think we had to bandage him before that because he was bleeding out.
He's bleeding out on the way.
Yeah, he was in a bad way. Okay. So you start heading down the road, and you quickly realize that while this road is definitely a road, it is perhaps not as maybe well maintained as one would think of a road. It hasn't seen very much travel lately, so it has not been cleaned and cleared very often. But let's see. Bernie, Leonese, and Reckmit, please give me a Wisdom Siege check. Because you all are in front.
It's +4. Okay. 11, 13 total.
That's a 9 prime, but
And it's secondary.
or excuse me, that's a 10 prime.
So 13 secondary.
Reckmit, you were muted.
I think he had a 3 he was showing.
Oh.
I'm starting out the night real good after my good rolls last week. This week it's a 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't see nothing.
As you're traveling down the road, you make it down the road about another mile, and just need to check something here. You make it down the road another mile, and gotta make some rolls here.
What was the name of the town we were headed to?
Half Hill?
Half hill.
Out of some ground cover, some sort of low-lying bushes, you're traveling south, and so it's to your right. It means it's coming from the west. Okay, so let's do this in a relatively manner that makes sense. Okay, so Rekmit, an arrow flies out of the bushes from the left and hits you square in the arm for 3 points of damage. Bernie, same thing happens to you. An arrow flies out of the bushes to your left, hits you in the arm for 3 points of damage. And Bert, what is your AC? Let's see. Your AC.
AC is 14, but that's with my shield. I don't have that out, so it's a 13 for now.
All right. So an arrow comes out and hits you for 2 points of damage. And now we roll initiative. There is something in the bushes to the west, to your left, or sorry, to your right, that is, because you're moving south, that is attacking you. So we're doing side initiative or group initiative, so I don't know who wants to roll the d10.
Oh, go on, I'll do it. See if I have any luck this week. An 8.
That's pretty good.
Okay. Let me... And I rolled a 6, so that's good for you. So you are on a road. There's a relatively steep incline that goes up to your right, and at the base of that incline, that incline leads up to Lonely Plateau, right? At the base of that incline is a little sort of thatch of bushes, and that's where the arrows seem to have come from. And so you have initiative. What would you like to do?
What time of day is it?
It is... You've now been traveling for a couple more hours. It's probably early afternoon, because you were going to make it to... Or actually probably mid-afternoon. You were going to make it to Half Hill just as the sun was going down, and you were at the end of your day's journey.
Does Leonese hear anything? Pinpoint more precisely where these things are.
You can roll a Wisdom Siege check if you'd like.
Okay. Bernie is going to charge towards. He's going to try to get into the bushes and into whatever's in them.
Okay.
To make a lot of noise. Get that axe up out front.
You're just looking for an excuse to use the axe, right?
Yes.
If I can't find anything, I'll hit 4.
What did Leonese get for the wisdom check?
She got a grand total of 4.
Okay. Yeah, no, it's too thick under there to be able to see. I mean, what you hear is rustling in bushes, but it doesn't really tell you much because the entire thicket is sort of rustling and making noise. So Bernie, you're running up into the area. You're just going to sort of hop on it and try to swing your axe?
I mean, if I can see something that tells me where someone is specifically, I'm going to go that direction. But yeah, I'm basically just going to try to get up to and into it and get to them.
You're not going to be able to see until you get right up to it. And then in that case, you might see something, but they might be scattering as you run up to it. You're pretty foreboding.
That's fine too.
And Leonese will be ready to shoot them as they go scattering.
Go ahead and roll me a Bernie, roll me a wisdom check. Let's just see what you get here.
Well, that is a 19 prime.
Okay. As you get up to the bushes, it becomes clear to you that these things did not see you until right when you got there. And what you see are 5 small humanoids with greenish, bluish skin sort of grayish, and they have short swords and small short bows, and they look like they're wearing rags, basically. And they've got little daggers slung around their waists on these little thin pieces of leather. And as you run up, they all of a sudden realize, and they sort of look up and go, "Ah!" And you can tell they are goblins. You can see 5 of them in front of you.
Okay. Can I hit one?
You can swing your axe at one, yes.
Okay, I will swing my axe at one of them. And that would be a 12.
That is not enough. While you did shock them by running up to them so crazily, they scattered as you did so, and so they moved just out of reach of your blade. Who's next?
Is there any kind of bushes or tall grass near where the rest of the party is standing that we can hide Jake in?
There are some thickets on the other side of the road, but you're not sure if there's anything over there. In other words, how safe it is.
I'm gonna head over to the other thickets on the other side of the road.
Okay.
And call to Jake. Follow me, my friend.
Jake.
You have to stay out of the firing line.
I yell to our fighter, "Where are they?"
They're up here! Goblins! Come and get them!
Nice. Are they in front of you?
Yeah!
Okay. I will cast Sound Burst in front of the fighter.
Okay.
Nice.
Tell the audience what that does.
So that will make a very loud explosion, like thunder, in front of Clayton. Bernie. And it'll explode. It'll do 1d8 points of damage. And all of those creatures caught in the 10-foot area of effect will have to make saving throws versus wisdom. Or be stunned for 1 round.
Sure.
And hopefully mercilessly killed by Bernie as well. In the meantime.
So you are setting it up so that it does not affect Bernie, I'm assuming?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, so roll the damage.
Will do. So that is a total of 7 points of damage.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right. So Bernie, what you see
Yes.
is you see something glint in the grass on the other side of where the goblins are, about 20 feet away from them. And then you see, and at the same time, or a half second later, you hear it actually, a burst that comes out. And as it sweeps over the grass, all of the leaves sort of get, when there's like when a car drives by and the leaves in its wake are sort of strewn about. That's what happens. And then the front edge of this sort of circular effect of sound comes in, and it hits these creatures that are in front of you, and you hear several popping noises, and then you see blood start to drip from their ears, and then a couple of them just fall to the ground, and one of them kind of looks up at you, and then its eyes burst, and it falls to the ground.
Oh.
And the other two also are on the ground by the time you're done looking at that. And then, just as quickly as it occurred, that sort of ululation of sound just stops.
Okay.
Every single goblin went down.
We still in initiative?
Nope, you're out of initiative.
Good work!
Excellent.
Took them down! And I got two here that don't look like they're finished off, and I'm waving a knife. If there's no objections, they're getting a swift coup de grace.
No objection from Leonese.
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
They're goblins. Take them out.
We have to get out of
Do
here.
they have Yeah, I'm gonna quickly collect their arms so that we can sell them in town.
Okay.
Do they have anything else on their person?
Nope. 5 short bows, 5 daggers, 5 short swords. Their armor is leather, and you can tell that at one time it was probably pretty nice quality. But by now, who knows where they got it. They probably scavenged it from some refuse pile somewhere. It looks pretty beat up and not very useful. But basically, their heads are kind of caved in now, and they are in super bad shape. But they don't have any other. They don't even have like belt pouches or anything. Not even a lowly copper piece.
Maybe they are the copper pieces. Should we cut off their ears so we can turn it into town, saying maybe there's a bounty?
Well, do you think that's the way that works? I had no problem doing that.
We're pretty close to Half Hill, so yeah, there might be.
I think we need to leave quickly.
Yeah, it's like,
Okay, that's fine.
That was loud. I thought it was loud.
Jake is subtly keeping us on the straight and narrow.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, not only the cleric, but I'm the mother of the group.
The voice of reason.
Yeah.
So you continue on.
Well, I might appreciate someone getting this arrow out of me.
Hey, I can do that.
Maybe a bandage on that would help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bandage.
I could use one of those too.
same.
How many bandages I had? Just had bandages. Does each bandage do 2 wounds, or is it 1 wound per bandage?
It's 1 wound per bandage. It's 1d2 healing.
Okay, that means I have 2 of them. Okay, so yeah, I have a couple of bandages.
But I think when you purchase them, you get 2 bandages in the pack.
Yeah, that would make sense. So I don't have a specific quantity. So
I will heal and Rackmet.
I'll put 1 bandage on Bert. D2, you said?
Right, 1d2.
You get 2 points of damage. 2 points of damage back, or health back, we say. Who else was hurt? Who's left? So did
Rickman took care of himself with a bandage. Or had someone use one of his bandages to put on him.
so Bernie?
Yeah,
Okay.
I could use it.
You could do it. You get 2 points back too.
Good.
And then did you get Bert and Rackmet, or do you want me to do those guys?
I got Bert.
I already took care of mine
Okay.
with my bandage. I already probably did that for me, but I used
Okay. I can administer 2 hit points. I already rolled it.
All right, so we get a move on. Jake in the middle. Same formation.
Okay. Pick up pace a little bit, I guess.
If we can.
Yeah.
Try to get in those 50-minute miles.
Okay, so you travel for a little while longer, and then everyone in front. So Leonice, Bernie, and Rekmit, please give me a wisdom check again.
9 secondary.
A 17 primary.
Seven.
Also, I forgot to say this at the beginning of the game, but you know, I'm not super happy with the owlbear dice. So if you just want to use your own dice at home, that's what I started doing. So we're on the honor system. If you just want to roll a die at home, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
You don't have to run it through owlbear.
Okay. I will, because I like rolling dice.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
That's part of the reason why. So Bernie, as you're coming up to the next sort of little stand of trees that are over to the west, because of what happened to you last time, you have your eyes out and you think that you see at least 2 individuals moving in that thicket of trees.
Okay. Is there cover near where we're at?
Not particularly.
Okay. I'm going to hold up my hand, and I'm going to get down a little bit, keep my eyes on it, and who's closest to me?
Bernie is in front. Leonice, Jake, and Rekmit are right behind you.
Okay. Leonice, I'm going to
Comes
point them out to her. Is it her or him?
Her.
Her. And kind of pass the word back. We got something on the right in that clump of trees.
And he kind of moves away slowly and passes the word around the rest of the group.
Ernie, do they appear to have seen us?
They may have. I don't know. Now, you said they're on the right side of the road?
They are.
I do have a way for a few minutes to at least make it harder to see us.
Yeah.
Could be useful.
Did you say they were on the right side of the road?
Yes, they are. Sorry.
Okay. I'm going to move out to the right and see if I can get a better angle to see behind the trees, or if I can get up where I can see behind them or something. I realize there's not much there, so I don't. If they see me, they see me.
Yeah. So the thing is that you saw them, whatever it is, far enough back that you have not crossed. You know, the group of you have not walked in front of that stand of trees yet. You were kind of keeping your eyes out in front. So if you separate from the group and try to go up and around and come up behind.
Well, I didn't say I was going to try to come up. Well, if it looks like it, yeah, I'll keep moving up, see if I can get behind them. We see where if I can see what's in there.
Yeah.
Then Leonese will have a bow ready.
Okay.
Arrow knocked.
What about Bert?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you want Bert to either come with you or maybe go instead? I'm a pretty sneaky little halfling.
That's fine. If you come up and suggest that, I'll be like,
come up and be like
take the lead. I'll be right behind you.
Sounds good.
And I'll shift around and get one of my hand axes out. Keep my big axe in my left hand and a hand axe in my right hand.
Okay. Excuse me. So, Bert, go ahead and give me a hide check
Ooh, all right. That comes out to an 8 total.
Ouch.
Not the best roll.
Yeah. Okay. So you move up and try to get into the a place where you can actually see what's going on. And you're far enough away that they don't necessarily see you, but you had to go far up the hill and try to stay behind some thickets and some brambly kind of bushes and whatnot. And as you're now above them in terms of elevation, and as you look down, you see that in behind the stand of trees, there are at least 8 more of these grayish green-skinned creatures, and they seem to be like running drills. Like one of them is standing in front and trying to tell the rest what to do, but they're a pretty haphazard operation, and so maybe 1 or 2 of them actually try to do what the leader one, or the at least assumed leader one, is trying. So they're kind of running around, kind of not really doing anything, but there are 2 of them that are, you notice, specifically looking at the road very intently, as if they are waiting for something.
All right. I'll kind of come back to Bernie here and kind of very quietly whisper and say, okay, there's about 8 of them there. We should probably don't want to take this fight if we can avoid it.
Rec middle motion, everyone to come to Jake.
Yeah, well, I'll kind of head back at that point.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll head back.
Jake, you have a shield, correct?
Yes.
I will go up to his shield, kind of with it's going to be a rune where it's going to be kind of a shape of an eye with a wavy line over the top of it, and imbue it with the bend light rune. So I'm going to stay within 20 feet of the shield.
Oh.
If we go quietly, they shouldn't be able to see us.
Okay.
Okay.
We can probably
Can you
proceed
make a huddle as well?
within 20
No.
They could still hear us. They could still other senses, smell us, and things like that. We just have to be very quiet. We have a few minutes.
Okay.
I think.
Sounds good.
Okay, so I'll need a move silently check from everyone, which is going to be a dexterity check.
Yeah. Okay, I think the Albert dice might be even better.
I don't know.
I'm back, baby. Natural 20.
Nice.
Linny's got a grand total of 4.
Oh, excellent.
That's really for my level and 2 for my bonus.
Get my dice rolling.
Well, I got a 7 prime.
I got an 11.
Oh, actually, I'll make it a bonus.
But I'm
Yeah.
also in ring now.
So what was the lowest? A 4?
Yeah.
And the highest was a 20?
Natural 20, yes.
Okay.
Because I have no.
As you go by, you travel through this area. You're trying to stay as silent as possible, and also trying to stay within 20 feet of the spell's effect, right, of the shield. And you're sort of shuffling by because you're all trying to be really careful and not let any piece of any of you or anything you're carrying get out of that area. You shuffle by, and as you're doing it, you're being so quiet, you can actually now hear the creatures that are on the other side, and they are yelling at each other and trying to blame each other for the various different things that have happened. No, it was his fault. No, he did it. No, you were supposed to go over there. No, I was told to go over here. And that's kind of how they're doing it. And as you get just beyond the range of sort of that area of the pathway, you hear one of them say, "Shh! Shut up, you lugheads!" And they go quiet. And then you see one of them come out of the underbrush. And it's got sort of this, it's got like almost a net on it that has some leaves and whatnot stuck in it, almost like it's trying to be camouflaged or something. And it goes out to the road, and it looks down the road behind you. And then it turns and it looks, and it's like this thing is looking directly at you. And it kind of stares, and it almost turns its head in the way that a dog, you know, when you make a noise and a dog is curious and it kind of turns its head. That's what it's doing, and it's staring at the road, but it doesn't see you. But it's almost as if it senses something is there, but after a couple of minutes, it gives up and it goes back to the trees. And you keep moving, and you're eventually beyond the range of what you think they could hear at this point.
Reckman finally lets out a sigh, not realizing he'd been holding his breath the whole time.
Okay, so... Okay. All right. Okay, so at this point, you feel like you're probably just a mile or so. You travel for a while. You feel like you're a mile or so outside of Half Hill. And you haven't seen any sign of goblins anymore at this point. And you see, as you're coming up to this area, you start seeing cultivated land, like small farms. But there are no houses. Instead, what you see are sort of small, very small structures that almost look about the size of an outhouse. And they have a door in them. But you never see any houses. You just see sort of fields and these little kind of shacks that are there that are very small, maybe 5x5 or 6x6 foot, not very big at all, and not very tall, only about 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall. And so with every little cultivated piece of farmland, you see those, and eventually you notice that the road has been being taken better care of in this area, and you get closer to the actual hill that Half Hill is on. The Half Hill proper is on, and you start seeing small entrances, small doorways sort of embedded into the side of the hill. And you now have come to the realization that this is a halfling warren, so to speak, and that all of their buildings are in the hills. There are no freestanding buildings except for one tower that is sitting just on the outskirts of town, far back from the road, but it's a human-sized tower almost, so it looks to be about 2 stories, so it's about 25-30 feet tall, maybe, if you include the crenellations at the top. And otherwise, all you see is hill with some sort of, it's dotted with sort of entryways to buildings. What would you like to do?
City place that looks like an inn or tavern where people are sitting outside, maybe enjoying something to eat or drink.
There is no place where anyone is sitting outside, as far as you can tell.
Maybe we should send Bert in to check it out.
Say, Bert, do you understand what this is? How these communities work?
for sure. Bert surely understands that a lot of Hobbit, or sorry, no copyright infringement. A lot of halflings, a lot of halflings build their houses and other important buildings inside hills and mountains. So this is not all that different. The Bert would know that the watchtower is actually probably the only sort of external structure that is there. That's to allow for a human to see that there's actually a settlement there if they're not bright enough to see the actual doors in the side of the hill. But that would be where, like, the captain of the guard or whatnot, or whoever's on guard duty that day, if they have a militia, that's where that person would be. There are symbols on some of the doors, and so Bert would recognize the halfling symbols as some of those doors are housing symbols. There is one with a town hall symbol on it, and there is one with a tavern symbol. There's no inn, so to speak, but there is a tavern symbol, along with their sort of other typical. There's a general store, okay, and there's like a granary storage one. So yeah, it's basically a town, but it's hard to tell what all the buildings are or how to get them. Bert would also know that there are passageways that connect some of these locations with each other in behind the houses, but that means in the hill, so it would be more like a cave-like passage.
I'll point out the town hall and the tavern and say, this is what these symbols stand for. Suggest we start maybe at the tavern and get a room at least.
Lead on.
So Linny looks and goes, but will we fit in there?
Yeah. She kind of like
hunching for a bit,
So the doors are halfling sized, but if you tall folk bend over, you can make your way in there. You'll probably be sitting on the floor in most of these places because the furniture is halfling sized.
Fair enough.
Better than goblins.
Yeah.
And
Indeed.
turn-
As long as the mugs and plates are halfling size too, we'll be good.
Small food portion.
So let's see. I don't really have a map of the town, so we'll have to wing it here. But the tavern is pretty much a standard tavern, other than the fact that it's halfling size. It has about 10 tables in it. They're all round. Each table has room for 3 or 4 chairs, halfling size chairs. There is a bar there, and there are 2 halfling servers, and there is a person at the bar who is serving food and drink. And there's about maybe 7 halflings in this place that are eating and drinking right now, along with the servers and the barkeep. The ceiling itself is actually tall enough for you to stand up. So even the taller humans, you can stand up because the ceiling has a big dome to it, and you could see that there is a hole in the middle of it, presumably for letting the smoke and whatnot escape from the cooking and all that. So what would you like to do?
I want to order some ale.
Okay.
Zeno will go
Sir.
over. Zeno will go over and introduce himself to the barmaid. Hello, good woman. Can you direct us to the mayor or some type of healing establishment? Well, are you gonna heal on your own, Jake, or do you need a church or something?
It would be a day or two for me to heal up, and probably to heal the rest of the party. Just taking healing spells.
We're wondering if we can speak to whoever's in charge of the town, and if you have any healing capabilities here.
Let me find my notes, sorry. What notes? Come on. Healing capabilities. So the halfling turns around and she says, "Hi there, I'm Irina. I don't know if we have any healing capabilities. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Do you mean like at the church?"
Well, Irina, we have some wounded with us that could use the touch of the gods to heal their bodies and minds. And perhaps if you have some type of herbal remedy that we can make Jake drink, that would be very fun to watch also.
Well, Winifar will protect all of the good people. So if he is a good people, then I think that Winifar would make sure that he could have some sort of drink. You said drink prepared? Yes, I think Winifar could do that. I'll have to talk to the herbalist, though. Do you want me to go get her?
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Very
And
good.
the more bitter, the better.
I look left and right. I'm like, herbalist.
So once you
Naturalistic healing.
You'll be
then I'm gonna
fine.
go
This is what we do.
to whoever else is back there. I think we need little service down here.
So a halfling...
1, 2, 3.
A halfling man comes out, and he has a really long handlebar mustache that curls around. It comes out of his face, off from his lip, right? It comes out, and it curls around 3 or 4 times. In fact, it comes out laterally to the side of his face so far it's wider than his face, and it curls around. He also has a goatee that comes down to a point. And he's wearing a top hat and a vest. And then, of course, some pants. And he says, "Hello there. My name is Pasilo. Yeah. This is Pasilo's Tavern. What can I get you?"
Well, I think we need some ale. I'm going to count my companions. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. 7 L's for us, sir.
That's very good counting. What size would you like?
Large.
Large. And what quality would you like?
Well, I want something pretty good. What do you got?
The best. All right. I will be right back. And he walks back into the back behind a curtain.
Hey, Bernie,
Okay.
You're about to pay a lot.
Yeah.
That's all right. As long as it's good.
A couple minutes later, you see the curtain sort of be pulled back, and then a cart gets pushed out. And the cart is low to the ground. It's about 6 or 8 inches off the ground. It has 4 wheels on it. And in the middle of it is this big keg. And the keg has been tapped. And as he wheels it out, he says, "Where are you sitting?"
Well, where can we sit?
Anywhere you
around.
like.
You park that cart and we'll sit there.
Yes.
All right.
I think we kind of go over closer to the door so we won't have as much trouble to get out of here.
He pushes it over to one of the tables right in the middle of the room.
Okay, so we go there.
Which means we basically take up the whole room, right?
Pretty much, yeah. There's a fireplace behind you. There's now a giant keg on a cart. And on the cart as well are these huge mugs. They're like, 2-pint mugs. They're enormous. Compared to all the other mugs in this place. In fact, when he rolled it out, every halfling in the room stopped to look and watch this giant thing come rolling out. And he stops and he says, all right. Well, it's been tapped. You can pour your own, right? Do you need anything to eat?
Yes, sir, we do.
All
Sure.
right. Coming right up. And he doesn't even ask you what you want. He just walks away.
Well, I help myself to some beer.
Leonese does.
Yeah, Bert will do the same.
Bert, can you handle that large glass there?
Oh, this is nothing. This is a warm up.
He's just going to stick his head all the way in.
Yeah, right.
Nice.
So after about 5-6 minutes, he brings out a big platter. Actually, he has couple of serving people bring it out. He's helping. And it's this big platter. And it has little, like, what's probably the size of a pigeon, right? Little pigeons roasted on it. And then there's potatoes around it. And then there's carrots around it. And that's what it is.
Okay.
How big is this keg? Is it like got a lot of fluid in it?
Yeah.
Hey, Bernie, should we offer
Yes.
a cup to the rest of the people that are in here in the tavern for some goodwill?
Sure.
You could always get another one.
I'll pop up and say, hey, would you all like to have a cup of this? Bring your cups over and feel free to fill it up.
Pretty much immediately, every person in the place comes over, and one of them sort of looks at his glass, and you see him go back over to the bar, and he talks to Passilo for a minute, and then Passilo takes one of the big mugs and he puts it on the counter, and the guy takes the mug and brings it back to fill it up.
That's not what I was saying. But I'll leave that up to Bert.
So what are you gonna do? You gonna chat with these people? Are you just gonna
Sure.
eat your fill and then go to bed? What are you thinking about?
I'll pull one aside, or when he's filling his mug, and just ask if they've had any trouble with goblins. We ran into quite a few on the way into town.
Oh, I've been hearing about those. Not to the south, but all to the north. They've been shoring up, and then apparently there's some hairy dog people that are on the other side.
The other side to the south?
No, to the north when it loops around. I think the goblins used to be over there, but the hairy dog people chased them away.
I wonder if that's the group we avoided.
I think both the groups we ran into were goblins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were goblins.
Definitely go.
So goblins and then hairy dog people. Maybe that's gnolls.
Gnolls of some kind, I imagine.
We definitely need to rest up and go get our donkeys. If there's-
Oh, the donkeys, yeah.
Don't forget the donkeys.
So, do we want to rest here for 2 nights?
Could be useful. Right,
Yeah.
there's no pressing reason to go anywhere. And they have good ale.
Well,
Donkey,
the donkey
Good.
is the pressing reason.
they will have been already one rest period alone. This will be a second. We stay a third, they're probably dead already, but
Yeah.
we should try to recover the donkeys. We did give our contract, our agreement, our word, and it's kind of our honor to bring them back if we can.
Hmm.
We should definitely rest up for a day, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I'll go. Zeno will go see if he can sell the swords and bows, get a little extra coin, see what kind of supplies they have there.
Yeah, Reckman wants to check if they have bandages and rations as well.
Yeah, Bert also wants some bandages.
I think I
Who's
have.
going
rope.
with Zeno?
We need rope.
Who's
So-
going with Zeno to make sure
Yeah.
he doesn't sell them to like the neighbor kids or something?
Yeah, I'll go with the note, the generals over there.
Hey, with the goblins around, neighbor kids need to protect themselves.
Awesome.
So the only thing that they have at their store are farming implements like sickles and pitchforks and some torches for controlled burning and whatnot. Also, they do have rope.
Good. Okay.
But they don't have any like weapons or armor or anything like. They don't really have adventuring gear. All they have is sort of farming gear. There are a few knickknacks here and there for things like, there are some, small knives and there's some decorative things like whittled pieces of wood and stuff like that. But no real adventuring gear in this place. So is there something in particular that you're looking for?
Definitely
I
rope.
think we said rope and bandages and rations.
Bandages. So they don't have bandages, but you can wait for Irina to come back with the herbalist, which presumably the herbalist will have bandages. She never did come back, at least not yet.
Okay.
Do they have any symbols of Winifar?
Probably not. No. They would probably make those themselves. Like each household would make their own. Because there's not really a shrine or a church to Winifar. They all just sort of worship her on their own. Yeah. So yeah, you can buy rope.
Okay. How much is the rope?
It's let's see. That's a good question. So they have 3 types of rope.
Ooh.
They have hemp rope, which is your sort of standard rope, right?
Right.
And then they have silk rope, not very much of it, but a little bit. And then they have a 100-foot long piece of rope that they are claiming is spider rope.
Mm.
So the hemp rope is a gold piece. The regular silk rope that comes from silkworms is 7 gold pieces. The spider silk rope, they want 25 gold pieces for.
25 for the
Zeno's just
400.
going to purchase.
Go ahead.
I said Zeno was just going to purchase 50 feet of hemp rope.
Okay.
And how much can I get if I sell him the bows, daggers, and short swords?
So the proprietor of the store won't buy them. He says you need to talk to the mayor, and maybe he'll give you money for them to outfit the militia. But he doesn't buy weapons at the store.
Okay.
Bert will also pick up 50 feet of hemp rope.
Okay.
Leonese will
I'll
pick
pick
up.
up 50 feet of hemp.
Leonese will buy a couple.
Okay.
Suddenly.
Oh, do they have oil here?
Lamp oil, yes, they do.
Okay.
Definitely restock in case I need to spray something again and light it on fire.
Yeah. I want to get lamp oil and some torches if they have it. How much are the oils?
Your oil is going to be it's going to be 5 silver for a 1 pint flask.
Okay.
Be worth getting a couple of those, right?
Yeah, I'll do the same. And do they
Do
have
they have any
torches?
pythons?
They do not have pythons.
I do. I do have hammer and spikes.
Did they have torches? I don't know if you asked about that yet.
They do have torches, yeah.
Yeah.
So
how
generally,
about
in anything that can be used kind of in a household or for lighting, they have. But they don't have weapons, and anything that would be like specialist adventuring equipment, they don't have.
Got
Do
it.
they have a smithy here?
They do not.
All right. Do you want to go try to find the herbalist, see if she came back, or do you want to talk to the mayor first?
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about where that girl went.
Maybe she's a little bit out of town if she's a herbalist.
yeah.
That's true.
And I was staying at the inn, the tavern, waiting.
Okay.
Oh, you're drinking all the beer.
At 1 hit point. Yeah,
Somebody needs to.
I will heal
Well,
myself.
I'll go back and check on Jake then, so you guys can handle the other stuff.
Well, if we go see the mayor and he buys it, he gets extra coins to pay for the herbalist.
Yeah.
And Reckman's going to chat up the tavern locals and see if they've got any rumors or anything else they know about the area or what's going on.
I'll see if I can find the mayor or the captain of the guard.
Bert, I'll come with you. I can lead you to the one that was marked as the town hall. You can head there, maybe.
Denise will come because she's intrigued.
So you're going to the town hall first?
Zeno, Bert, and Leonese are going to the town hall, I think.
Okay. So at the town hall, you see that the door is slightly ajar.
Bert will go ahead and knock on the door, see if anyone answers. Say hello.
Come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in, come in.
All right, well,
They would have come in.
I heard there were visitors in town, so I left the door open. Come in, come in, come in, come in.
I'll come in. I'll introduce ourselves. Say, hi, I'm Bert. We've got Leonise and my friend Zeno here. And, we're travelers coming in. We were attacked by some goblins to the north, so we're coming in to rest and heal up here.
Ah, very nice to meet you all. I am Cormano Bramblebaker. I'm elected the new mayor of this town. What can we do for you?
We had some weapons we were looking to maybe see if we could help you outfit your militia with. We were also wondering about your herbalist. I think she was going to come meet us at the tavern.
Well, I can... Hold on 1 second. And he walks to the door and he sort of leans his head out the door and he whistles really, really loud. And he says, the captain of the guard should be here any minute now. Any minute. She always responds to the whistle. But we don't have an herbalist. I don't know what you mean, an herbalist.
Oh, that's odd. Barmaid at the tavern said she was going to go get an herbalist to help look at our wounds here.
Oh. Yeah, she thinks she's an herbalist. Yeah, she'll come back. She'll come back, don't worry. She'll come back eventually. She always does. She'll be dressed up, just wait. She'll come back. So, what else can I do for you?
Well, that's a little disconcerting. Leonie's kind of mutters to herself.
She thinks the forest talks to her, and I don't know. She's never been able to really show anybody anything that says the forest really talks to her, so everybody kind of just ignores it now. But every time a new face comes into town, she always, volunteers to go get the herbalist. And then she shows up a few hours later, and she's dressed up like an herbalist, I guess, like what she thinks an herbalist would look like, or something. Anyway, what can I do for you?
Well, if we have these weapons, some bows, short swords.
Yes, but I can't do anything with those. The militia captain has to do that. The captain of the guard. Yes, she'll be here in a minute. Yes.
Okay. So what do you know about the goblins?
We heard that. Go ahead, Leonies.
So these goblins, what do you know of them?
What goblins? I don't know anything about any goblins.
Really? Seems everybody in the tavern knows something about the goblins.
Those people talk. Mm-hmm. Old Pasillo's beer keeps everybody talking.
And what about the ones we saw?
There's goblins in the area. We met a group of them and dispatched them. Is there a bounty for clearing the lands around Half Hill?
A bounty? You think we have rich enough stores that we could provide a bounty for some imaginary beasts with pointy ears? And then he looks at
I have no idea I have no idea what stores you have here, but I can show you the weapons these creatures carried. And if they come to Half Hill, if you're defenseless, you will lose much more than your stores. You will lose your life.
I don't know why you think we're defenseless. We have a captain of the guard.
Do you have any guards to go with the captain of the guard?
And right at that moment, you hear a voice behind you that says, I do have some able-bodied halfling who like to be guards sometimes. What can I do for you?
We have some weapons to maybe help outfit these able-bodied guards if you need them, but we're also just concerned about the number of goblins that we've seen to the north. I just want to make sure you're able to defend yourselves should you need to.
Are they traveling this way?
As far as we could tell, they were just setting up ambushes along the road, but we saw at least 13 or so of them.
She turns to the mayor and says, You see, Bramblebaker, I told you we should have rooted them out as soon as they showed up. He kind of just looks sheepish. She says, My name is Lori Littlefeet. I'm the captain of the guard, and I have been so for a while now. And I've been trying to warn the town of these goblins for several weeks. But no one believes me because they have yet to attack. What proof do you have that you saw them?
Our colleague has some ears.
We don't have ears because Jake was in too much of a hurry and wouldn't let me chop the ears off. But the girl, which is why I'm not going to tell him that the girl dressed up like as an herbalist is really the barmaid, because that'll be payback. But I will show the bows and swords and daggers and say, these arms, we've taken off their bodies after we killed 5 of them.
She starts inspecting them. The mayor seems unconcerned. He says, I'm sure it's not that big of a problem. I mean, we haven't had any complaints of any caravans traveling north or south having any problems. I'm not sure why everyone thinks that it's us poor halflings that are supposed to defend the entire pass when we haven't even had a problem. Not a single one.
Leanies looks
You may want to... Go ahead, Leanies.
Leanies looks and goes, so exactly how long have you been mayor? And how did you get voted in?
He says, 6 weeks.
Ah, seasoned then.
Well, I was voted in because I got the backing of the people, because I am the only reasonable one that can lead us out of this without costing us too much. I'm not sure why anybody believes that our poor little town, which has no resources, can spend a lot of resources to defend all of Indolofen down there. Let the goblins go south if they really exist. Indolofen and the Baron, they can bring up an army and fight off these things. We're too small. We can't do it.
Then he just nods and ignores him.
At this point, I'm going to ignore the mayor and look at the captain of the guard. Well, do you want to purchase these weapons or not?
She says, did these goblins use these weapons with any skill or prowess?
If you go and look in the tavern, well, actually, didn't Bert get hit by an arrow?
I took an arrow, yeah.
And one of our halfling companion was shot with the arrow as they were hiding in ambush. So they are accurate with the bow.
She says, you see, Mayor, they can hunt halflings. This is a problem. He just sort of flops down in his chair and shakes his head. I will buy your weapons if you're selling them at a good price.
We are, and I'll look over to Bert. How much did you say we were selling these for, Bert?
I would like to sell them for quite cheap. I'm a little concerned about the ability of this halfling town to defend itself, so maybe a few copper each, per se.
Done.
A few copper? You're giving them away, Bert.
It's more about the spirit of it than the monetary value here.
She holds out her hand to shake Bert's hand to seal the deal.
Bert will go ahead and shake it.
Okay. She says, I will go get the copper from the stores right now. She runs off.
Before you go, can we have lodging on the house?
Yes, I think the only place big enough for you is the watchtower. Would you like to stay there?
We would. Thank you very much.
Excellent. I'll let them know to let you in. She runs off. The mayor says, I don't know why you have to keep perpetrating this issue as if the halflings can do anything about it.
You didn't say you had to do anything about it, but you really do need to defend yourself.
We can just hide in our hovels. The goblins aren't going to come in. They know better.
Really? Why would they know better?
We're poor. We don't have anything. Why would they need to come in? There's nothing even to steal.
They may just want to kill you.
Very least, they might burn your farms.
Well, that would not be good. How many did you say you saw?
At least a dozen.
Well, maybe I'll start telling the town they should be careful when they go onto the road. Are you heading down south?
We are. We have to retrieve our pack animals.
Pack animals? You lost them? Do you need more?
I didn't say that. I just said we have to retrieve them.
Oh. You know, we sell goats here at Half Hill. They're the best pack animals. You don't even have to take feed. They feed themselves. They eat anything.
Very interesting. Why do you ask if we would go to south? Is there something you require?
Well, if you're going to go to Indolofen, I would assume that you would tell them about the goblin problem and perhaps they'll send help to us.
Of course, of course. We'll leave you here to your planning.
Excellent.
And Zeno's kind of done. Zeno's kind of done with the mayor. He's gonna go.
Time to go.
As you start to walk away, he says, "Say, Bert,
Yes.
are you looking to buy a halfling home? You know, we have some good property here."
Not quite ready to settle down at the moment, no, but I would be interested in a goat, perhaps.
Oh, really? Well, so if you ask Passilo, he can show you the stock of goats and sell you one.
I'll be sure to do that, thank you.
Excellent. Tell him I sent you.
Will do.
So I wish I was there so I could ask how much it would cost. It's
A few copper, I would think.
freaking halfling home.
All right, let's head back to the tavern.
Yeah, head back to Passilo here.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop the guys before we go in the tavern so we can peek the window and see if the herbalist is feeding Jake something horrible.
So, when you look into the there's not really a window, right? But if you sort of you can kind of peek through the door, and you see a halfling that has branches tied to her arms and legs. And they're very leafy branches, so it looks like she has a branch tied to her upper arm and to her forearm, and there's these leaves coming off of them, and she has a sort of bundle of leaves that almost looks like a bird nest with leaves coming out of it on her head as a hat. And she is holding out a small bowl, almost like a mortar and pestle kind of bowl, to Jake. So Jake, this woman has come in, and she sort of flows in, and so that she gets the most fluid movement as possible, so that the most air moves through the leaves, right?
Yeah.
And she comes to you and she says, "Hello, my young child. I am Rodan, the herbalist of Half Hill. I understand that you are in need of some tonics, poultices, and salves."
Yeah, we need to get him fixed up.
"What seems to be the problem? What ails you?"
I don't know. Would it be fair to make a wisdom check or a charisma check to see how real this is? This seems really fake and odd for the cleric, you know.
Mm-hmm. Sure. You can do a charisma check.
See the scrapes and the claw marks and the holes in his body?
I'll point those out to her.
This is
I think we've all gone to that doctor or hospital. So wisdom check, I made a
Charisma.
Oh, charisma?
Yeah.
Why does it have to be charisma? Oh, that's not good enough. It's like 16 non-prime.
So,
But
whatever your suspicions, it is obvious that she believes in her powers.
Come on, it's not like it'll kill you or something.
it'll kill me. I'm sure.
I mean, you want to get well, you want to get better, get back out there. Go get those donkeys
and
before they get eaten. Those poor little donkeys.
We need to save the donkey.
We'll tell their mothers.
I look at her and I'm like, am I supposed to drink that?
No, wait, just hold it. And she starts pulling leaves off of some of the branches that are attached to her, and she starts dipping them into the stuff. And she says, "Put your arms up. Put your arms up."
Come on, come on.
Put your arms up.
Come on, Jake. Put your arms up.
Stop like a chicken.
Put your arms up.
You gotta do what the turkey wrap should do to get rid of it.
So I assume I still have the chainmail arm or ring, and I picked up my arms.
So, she tries her best to place these leaves against your body wherever there was a wound or it looks like your armor was dented, and she says, can you lift up your shirt? I know clerics are sometimes shy, but if you lift it up, it might help.
I look back at the party because I
Just grab it and rip it up on him.
No!
It's for your own good, Jake. Take it. It's your medicine.
All right.
When to get you healthy.
She puts leaves. She keeps soaking them in this stuff, and it smells like eucalyptus. And she just keeps putting them on your body, right? And then she'll like rub it in a little bit, and then she'll like press on the leaf to try to make it stay where it is. And sometimes it stays, and sometimes it just falls off. And at the end, there's a little tiny bit left in the bowl, and she says, "Okay, drink the rest."
Good Lord. I grab it and I'm like, "For the good of Durndale," and I.
There you go. Through the lips, over the gums. Watch out, stomach. Here it comes.
There you go, Jake. You're taking one or the other.
Here's to the Navy and the battles that it's won.
So that is probably the most disgusting thing you've ever tasted. However, luckily, until she got there, you've been sitting there downing beers. So it kind of just tastes different from the beer and not as good, but you're sure if you drink a few more drinks of beer or ale from that keg that you'll probably be okay.
Okay.
Beer has healing
So I
properties.
get him some more beer.
So
Absolutely.
the end of that, her putting the last pieces of the the leaf poultice on him and telling him to drink was what the three of you saw as you were coming back into the tavern.
Zeno's quite satisfied. He says, comes in and he says, "Are you feeling better, my friend?"
Probably by now I have a glass in both hands that I'm drinking out of.
Rodan turns to Zeno and says, "Of course he's feeling better. He has been
Thank you, Madam
blessed
Herbalist.
by Winifar."
Your powers exceed your reputation. Thank you very much.
"Thank you," and she bows really deeply. And she says, "Who else needs the healing of Winifar?"
I'm going to give her 3 silver pieces.
Oh, okay.
Bart kind of looks around and goes, "I'm feeling a lot better, just so everyone knows."
Okay. She tries to move around the room and see if anybody else other than your party needs anything, and they all basically ignore her. They turn away from her.
Rude, so rude. Forgive my friends.
Before she leaves, she comes back and she takes a package out of her bag, and it's wrapped in these really big leaves. And she hands it to Jake, and she says, "Before you sleep tonight, make sure that you put these over your wounds."
Oh, okay.
Will do. Yeah.
And then she leaves. "Toodaloo, everyone! I'll see you again when the weather tells us." And she walks out.
Toodaloo!
Well, that's a good thing we came to town.
Feeling so much better.
Yeah, so I'm going to inform them of everything we learned from the mayor and the captain of the guard. Tell them that we have lodging in the tower. And then remind Bert he wanted to talk to the
About a goat, yep.
innkeeper.
I'll see if I can flag down the innkeeper and ask about the goat, see how much it would cost.
Ah, you're looking for a goat. Oh, do you need a big one, a small one, or a medium size?
A medium-sized goat.
A medium-sized goat. Let me see. Let me check my roster. And he sort of gets a piece of parchment and he's looking through it. Well, a medium-sized goat. For that, it's going to cost you 2 gold pieces.
Oh, that sounds like a fine deal. I'll take one.
Excellent. Would you like to choose it? I can take you out to the field, and you can choose which goat you would like.
That sounds perfect.
Excellent. Follow me. And he walks back through the curtain behind the bar.
Go ahead and follow him back, yeah?
So you find yourself walking through the kitchen area, and there's about 20 halflings back there, 20 little young halflings, all working. And as he walks by, he pats every single one of them on the head. And then he walks out the back, and there's a big sort of cavern back there with a fence around it. And there's 4 little paddocks, and they each have goats in them. Some of the goats are like little miniature goats, and then there's sort of regular sized goats, and then there's these really, really big mountain goats. And he points at the middle paddock and he says, you can take any of those that you'd like.
Oh, perfect. So I'll go up to the paddock and just kind of pick one out that looks good.
Yeah, they all look pretty healthy. They've obviously been well cared for. But they're indoors, so they're kind of skittish because they're not really very comfortable at the moment. So, but you can definitely pull one out. And it'll follow you. They all have bits on, so you can
yeah.
Them, yeah.
Cool.
And he says, if you would not take that through the kitchen, you could go through that hallway there, and then turn right, and it'll lead you back around to the front, and then please don't bring it into the tavern because, it's not house trained or anything like that. So I wouldn't want to have a mess to have to clean up.
Got it. Is there a place I can kind of tie it up outside?
You could tie it outside of the door, the outer door of the tavern. Of course.
Perfect.
There's a couple of posts out there.
I'll go ahead and do that then.
Okay. As the evening starts to wear on, more and more halflings go to the tavern, and when they come in, as they hear that you have purchased the giant keg, they kind of look over, and some of them bring various size cups to try to come and partake of the keg, because their friends tell them that you all said that it was a gift.
Yeah, we're not stopping anyone.
Okay. What else?
I think it's just an evening of eating, drinking, and listening and talking to the locals. See what they can tell us about things like goblins and strange creatures in the area.
Hairy dog people.
Yeah, I was going to say, do we find any information out from these guys? Any new rumors?
So in general, not really. All of these people are pretty much farmers, and it's a very insular little town, so they rarely have visitors at all. And they don't really go outside of town because they grow enough food to sustain themselves. You do learn that the mayor won because he blames every problem that the town has, every problem that the little community has, he blames it on Indolophin and the Baron. And he got a local group to support that. He convinced them that he was right. And that's apparently, according to some of the locals, that's how he won the mayorship. The other person up for mayor was the current captain of the guard, Lori Littlefoot. And, so that's the rift there. They don't really work well together because every time Lori has an idea for something to do, the mayor shoots it down. And so that's kind of where it stands. Most of the townsfolk, they don't really take sides because they have not been attacked, and none of them have really seen goblins around. So to some of them, they also still think it's kind of Lori Littlefoot, Lori Littlefeet is kind of maybe embellishing a little about the danger of these goblins, which these halflings have never had to deal with, and none of them have really seen any of them, and so there's sort of this stalemate in town regarding what exactly to do, because some people believe Lori might be right, but since they've never really had to deal with the goblins, they don't really voice an opinion, right? And some of, they also kind of feel the way the mayor does, that, well, if there's a big band of goblins, why don't the people in Indelhofen take care of it? So that's kind of the state of the town right now. It's pretty dysfunctional.
All
right, so I guess we'll stay the night in the tower and then go get our donkeys.
Yeah, I think so. Or try to get our donkeys at least.
Try and get them. Gives us a chance to get our spells back. Always useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you sleep the night in the watchtower, and you all will gain 1 hit point back just for sleeping. Because you are indoors and it's relatively comfortable, you actually get an extra 1d2 hit points back, along with the 1. And Bert, did you bring the goat into the watchtower, or did you stake it outside?
I'd probably stake it outside.
Okay, so it is now the next morning. What would you like to do?
Guess after eating, we go and get the donkey.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think we can head just straight south to Four Top Hills and come into the mushroom forest from the other side.
How are you feeling, Jake?
I feel great.
Durandale bless you over the evening and grant you some healing.
Did you remember to put the leaves on your wounds?
Yes,
After Jake Zeno covered him with leaves.
A little more of that tonic, Jake. You probably should take another swig. Get some more.
I could have had enough there.
Smelled really good.
I'll be back.
I feel great. I feel really good.
Good, because I don't want to have to use that rune ever again. That's a 1/2 time deal.
Should we take our little break, Samuel?
Yeah, let's take our 5 to 10 minute break, and so that we can it's pretty much the middle of it, so that's when I like to take it. So that's a good idea. Let's go ahead and do that. So we will be back in 5 or 10 minutes. Usually it goes closer to the 10, but hang on with us, and we will be right back. And we're back. This is Castle Keeper Sam, and we're here again with the Pools of Narrheit game. And we were actually just discussing what the characters are going to do. So actually, we can keep talking about that for a minute if you want to, because if you're new to the stream, the way that we're going to do it is when a particular PC levels up. First, they have to be back in town, in the main town in Delafen, or at least in a place where they can find a mentor. And then that mentor is going to take them away and do some training for a week or two. And when they do that training, the player is going to bring in a new PC. Okay, so what that means is that everybody can actually make more than one character. Okay, and so since they're making more than one character, they're bringing in another character when their character goes off to do their training, and that is going to happen to Bert probably first, because the rogues have a lower XP amount to get to the next level, and then Zeno is right in line right after that. And then who's next after that? Let's see. Then after that is probably going to be, it looks like it's probably going to be maybe either Jake or Bernie. Or actually, Rekmit and Jake are the same, 2251 to get to second level, and they have roughly 1500 XP right now, so maybe 1600. So that's going to be a long haul for that, and Bernie is at 943 right now and needs 2001 to get to the next level, whereas Bert already has actually surpassed his requirement, and Zeno is about 2 experience points away from his requirement. Which I did not do on purpose, although if you accuse me of that exquisite torture, then I'm okay with that. So that's what we're talking about, is just what kind of characters you're going to bring in. So, Bert, were you, or I guess should say Alex, were you thinking of what other class you might choose?
I'm not sure. I'll do some looking this weekend and figure it out. But...
Yeah. What about you, Zeno?
I think I'm going to pull in an illusionist or a primal druid.
Interesting. Illusionist is always an interesting class. Yeah.
Primal druids are nice.
I haven't read up on the primal druid yet, but I was thinking about going with that. But I always like an illusionist to try to play tricks and mess with our castle keeper and keep him on his toes.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever. I guess I deserve that. Okay. So let's move back into the game. We can talk more about that at the end here. So you sleep the night in the watchtower of Half Hill, and you wake up, and you have decided, it sounds like, to travel due north or due south, not along the road, but just directly south to try to get to that clearing in the Foretop Hills, to try to find your, what was it that you had, a donkey or a mule?
Donkey, I think, yeah.
Donkey. Yeah.
And 2 donkeys, I think.
2 donkeys, huh?
2 donkeys. Donkey. Okay, so is that what you would like to do, or do you want to follow the road for a while? Like, what's your plan of action here?
Yeah, let's follow the road for as long as we can, and then cut over. I'm thinking. I'm looking at Rekmid. I was like, well, once we get back up there, I guess we should probably grab food for the donkeys before we leave. Provided they're not high on mushrooms or eating all the grass. But should we try to go back down in that mist room and see if the mist takes us somewhere else?
I think we need to get the donkeys first and see if they're alive.
Yeah.
And as much as I know we want to go back, it's a group thing. We were trying to actually go to the, what are they called? The Arnax?
We were heading for some.
We were trying to go to the Arcar nest. We ended up with this. Question is, as a group, what do we want to do? we want to get back to Inderloffen after we get the donkeys? Do we want to check this out? Or do we want to go for that?
We also have that big, huge hole. The centipedes might be gone by now.
The other thing I have a concern about is those acolytes that disappeared. It's been a few days.
Oh, in the Oxwood, right? Yeah.
It almost seems like maybe that should be a higher priority for us to try and save them if they're in there, because that's a similar area to where Horus, we believe, has absconded to.
Right.
I know we've been on the trail of this Narrheit clan or cult, but I have a feeling they're tied to Horus in some way, and I am concerned about what's happening with these acolytes.
All right, well, let's see if the donkeys are alive, and then maybe we'll, I guess, go back to Indelophin, I think.
Or we go back to Halfhill and buy a bunch of goats. Be like, what? We got goats.
If the donkey, if the donkeys are alive, we don't have to return them. We just got to make sure they're alive.
That's true, but I have a feeling a couple party members would like to go back to town.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, we should probably at some point.
I need to renew rations, and Halfhill didn't have those, and I haven't carried a lot. I mean, I'm running low on sauerkraut.
Do we need to get back to town?
There's also those strange flying creatures in the woods.
We can catch those on the way out when we look for the acolytes.
Yeah, so I think we're going to follow the road a little ways south and then cut over.
Just before the forest.
Probably, just before the forest. I was just thinking that.
I was going to say, do we have an owlbear up right now? I don't know.
Where's the big mushroom in that?
You see that little black dot?
Yeah. And we left
right
the donkeys at the X, right?
No, they're right at that black dot.
They're right at the black dot. Okay.
The X is where we saw the flying things.
Okay, so we don't have to go anywhere near the flying things.
And is our plan to go through the dungeon to get to the donkeys? Mules?
No.
No, I don't think so.
I think we're just coming up to the mushroom.
Okay.
I mean, if we're going to go through the dungeon, we'd have to go back up to Wing Peak Hill.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know how we can find 2 donkeys out in the woods with our skill set.
I don't either, but
we tied them to the mushroom. They're fine.
We just need to know how much it's going to cost us when we get back to town.
Yeah.
I tell you, we take the goats. We swear they gave us goats. We have donkeys. We had goats, man. You don't want your goats back? Fine.
My family's known in the town. We can't. I mean, I like the chaos. I do like it, but I still have to live here.
Okay.
So your travel south. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. It's about 4 miles, you estimate, from Halfhill. If you go directly south in a straight line, as the crow flies, it's about 4 miles. Now, of course, walking, it's a little longer than that. But as you get close to this stand of trees here, you notice that there was activity there, because you see many footprints. All of you see it. It's really, really obvious that there are a bunch of footprints there, and they are roughly the size of goblin footprints. And they are they were congregating behind the tree line here at this spot that I had just been highlighting, and then they start walking up the hill towards the Four Top Hills.
They kill our donkeys, they're dead.
Should we follow the tracks, maybe?
Can we tell how many there are? Just so we're ready.
Yeah, so it looks like there are at least 21.
Mm.
But they're not like there's not no blood or anything, so we don't like the donkeys weren't destroyed or killed here.
No blood. It just looks like they maybe had set up a camp just behind the tree line, and maybe they had set up some people watching the road, you know? Kind of like what they were doing in the other bushes that you saw yesterday.
I vote for taking out those goblins. They took our donkey. There's just a line you don't cross.
Well, I mean, I don't care if they took I mean, I don't care about taking out the goblins, but how do we know they took the donkeys?
We don't, but I'm saying they did because they're goblins.
Okay, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
That's what goblins do.
Okay, they took our donkeys. Let's kill them.
Let's get them.
I have an issue with goblins, but I'm still saying it's the goblins. We got to get them.
I mean, they're just goblins, right?
We're goblin busters. Let's get our donkeys back.
Are they very bad goblins?
They're the worst goblins.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they slobber all over everything.
I mean, you had to use
Steal something from Durndale? Is that what you're telling me? They took from Durndale?
They took Durndale's donkeys.
took from
Oh my
Durndale,
god.
from
Oh my
Winifred,
god.
from the Allfather. They're an abomination.
Oh boy.
They all need to go to the afterlife to meet their maker. Or Durndale. I don't care how you want to look at it.
I call down that we have to have a holy war.
Hey, they attacked us for no reason. We were friendly. We were just helping you get along, and they tried to murder you.
How much oil do we have? Can we burn the forest?
Might be a little drastic.
Yeah.
There's
You
a river.
can, but I don't think that it does much purpose because I don't think they're in here.
But we'll send them a signal. Yes.
You know, we're going to sneak up on them.
That's not honorable.
They're goblins.
It's for the greater good.
See this poke in my arm? Yeah. That was goblins. They're not honorable. They've already sealed their fate by stealing our donkeys. It's obviously that they were our donkeys and they should have taken them.
So we just kill these, and we'd have to worry about the donkeys. We can go back and tell we killed everybody. We killed the goblins that killed the donkeys.
There you
We
go.
don't
I like it.
Donkeys are alive. They're fine. I'm trying to convince them with my charisma.
We shall follow the trail.
We're going to get our donkeys back, even if it's in pieces.
They become centipede chow.
You know, I think there's goblin chow, but we're going to find out. And there will be vengeance. For the Allfather and for Durndale.
For the record, I'm bringing my goat with us. Her name is Betty, and she's a very good goat.
Are you sure she's a good goat? You've only had
She's
her
the
a day.
best goat.
Well, she's your
Yeah,
goat.
we won't be able to tell either.
The question is, can you ride her? Can you put a little
No, she's-
saddle on her?
Not yet. I'll consider it, though. Right now, she's just a pack goat. We'll see how she does.
Okay, Reckitt is going to start making plans for a halfling saddle for Betty.
That would be amazing.
You know, goats actually make some sense because they could go almost anywhere.
Well, if this is going to happen, Sam, you got to make. I don't want to know what I got to roll. We're going to make a halfling saddle for Betty. For Bert. This is now...
This is the goal now. The entire campaign revolves around this halfling set.
Yes.
So, sorry, I was refreshing my memory about something. So what is it that you are going to do? You're going to follow the tracks on a revenge mission to avenge the killing of your mules / donkeys that you are absolutely positive this poor band of goblins perpetrated on you, even though you have no evidence.
Yep.
No, we're going to go get our donkeys back. They're alive. Or they're in pieces, and we're going to get the pieces back.
Okay.
But we're
sure that the goblins have them.
Do the goblin footprints go the same direction toward where the donkeys are supposed to be?
The goblin footprints are leading up to the top of this hill. This hill here, into this stand of trees, and you're not up there yet, so you can't see sort of what's beyond that, but that's what it looks like. So they are theoretically going in the direction of
where they took the donkeys from.
Right, of where the donkeys were at the last you knew. But you don't know... Huh?
Are there donkey tracks?
There are not donkey tracks.
Well, they've eaten them.
There would be sign of that, blood or something.
Okay, they're carrying them then.
So, how are you going to approach this tree line now that you know that there is at least a mediocre size group of goblins in there?
I would say we should probably go up to the hill, one of the hills, probably the hill to the north of it, and then approach from the hill, overlooking it.
Seems like a good plan.
And maybe Bert could do a little reconnaissance.
Yeah, a little sneaking out ahead. Once we kind of hit the hill, I might sneak into the forest there and see if I can see something.
Seems pretty sneaky.
Is there anything you can do to help him, Rachmed?
I could help him not be easily seen for a few minutes. But I don't know. We probably want to do that when we knew that we were close to that.
Yeah.
I would hate to waste it when there's nothing that he'd be hiding from.
Right.
He's pretty sneaky and pretty hideable himself. I like to save that for the group.
I learned this back at the last village. If we tie some tree limbs to them, leaves. What? It turned out.
Sounds logical to me. When we cut some limbs.
So, Bert, do you want to give me a move silently check?
Ooh, that's a bit better. That's a 22 total.
Ooh. Nice.
Okay. You get up around the hill and you look down and you can see in the forest where they have made camp. And some of the goblins that are there are constructing a large fire pit and a spit to go on that fire pit. And some of the other goblins are cleaning their weapons and whatnot. And you notice that there is one particular goblin that looks a little bit different from the others. It looks more bluish tone in skin. It's still kind of gray, but it's more blue on the blue side versus the grayish green side. And it's also about 50% taller than all the other goblins. And it's not as ugly as the other goblins. It's there's no other way for me to put that. It looks as if it has some other kind of strain in it. It's not just pure ugly ass goblin like these other goblins, right? There's something about it that is different. And
You're saying it's a half goblin?
it's obvious that also the other goblins know it, and they defer to this bigger goblin a great deal. Every single one of them defers. And in fact, if they start squabbling about something, if the bigger goblin says a word to them, they stop whatever they were doing immediately and get back to work.
All right, so he's definitely the leader-looking kind of guy.
Definitely looks like the leader.
About how many can I see?
Also, the other different thing about him is he's wearing kind of nice clothing, and he has jewelry on. Like, he's got a couple of rings on. He's got a staff that has some feathers hanging from it with some gems woven into the leather that's holding the feathers on. So he's obviously of import that's different from the other goblins.
Got it. About how many do I or can I make out or kind of see as they're kind of moving around here?
There are about 5 setting up the spit and bonfire, and there are 4 others talking to the big goblin.
If I kind of look around the edges of the camp, do I see any that are like on lookout or taking a look around? Like they had before, they had one posted looking at the road. Yeah.
Yeah, nope, nothing like that. You do see that there is a pretty obvious path that leads away from their little clearing that moves out and travels out sort of to the southwest.
And then last thing, are there any signs of donkeys?
Not that you can see, no, you don't see any donkeys. You don't see any animals at all.
Alright, I'll sneak on back to the group then and kind of report what I found. Just point out the leader, or let him know if there's a leader guy. About 9 goblins that I can see. Probably more that headed off to the south to go hunting, if I had to guess. Looked like they were setting up camp. So if we want to hit them, now might be a good time while they're split up. There's only 9 there now, and we saw tracks of about 20. There's probably a fair amount of them out hunting, so we can maybe hit them while they're split.
Making that big spit for a big roast sounds like they're looking at a donkey meal to me.
It looked like a donkey-sized spit.
And I could probably distract quite a few of them with my light thing.
I have a sound burst again. So right around the campfire, if we start with that.
If they're close by, that would be good.
Yeah.
All together.
Yeah, we just have to, we send the halfling out, ask them to all gather up.
Well, he goes and kind of goads them so they chase him, and then he runs off, and as they group chasing him, you just grab them.
Riding the goat, I like that. Yeah.
That's not a bad idea at all.
We might have to improvise a little bit with have him take off his shirt.
Just changing Fabio would be fun.
From what Bert is telling me, this Goblin Leader is probably something we have to be careful of and account for. I don't know much about them, but they are much more dangerous than a normal goblin.
Yeah, do we have a plan for him? So, like the regular goblins, we've got Soundburst, we've got Bernie here who can chop into pieces, but do we have something specifically for this this leader-looking guy? Anyone can take it early?
I have a couple of magic missiles.
What if we set up like a pit trap? What if we set up like a little 3-foot or maybe 5-foot pit trap real quick, tied a rope, like a tripwire in front of it, got a bunch of them to chase Bert, those drop, the other ones and the leader come investigating, and then Jake soundbursts them all.
Well, now, Zeno, keep in mind, I don't know a lot about these type of goblins, but from the little bit I've heard from my family and about town is this type of goblin can cast spells. And
Yep, we did have both before too.
it's not like a goblin that doesn't live a long time. These are it should be destroyed and dispatched. It is an abomination to all of the Allfather's creations and all of, well, dwarven kind. We have to be careful that we take care of that thing.
I mean, no guarantee how much damage, but at least disrupt him, and I can fire missiles at him.
Well, maybe we could set up and all of us getting close enough to fire one big barrage of spells, missiles at him from a distance and try to take him out fast and then just deal with the other ones.
My suggestion is try to throw a lure in there to lure the regular goblins and then allow us to concentrate all of our fire upon that leader.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the lure will concentrate, and then it's perfect for something like a soundburst.
It's going to be quite, not sure what the right word I'm trying to think of is, difficult to take care of. It has lived a long time, longer than me most likely. This type of goblin has probably been around a very, very long time. Longer than Linnaeus is normal life.
We need to. We can't fight him. It's immortal. I was considered immortal by my father. Don't you know that? What color skin was it? Blue?
Much more to blue, yeah.
Like blue like the sky, or blue like what? Just make it up.
Blue like the sky, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst kind ever. You don't want to fight those things.
All right. Well, let's get to fighting then.
You can't leave it random.
Yeah. No, they've got our donkeys. We've got to kill them.
We gotta do it. Yeah.
I agree. That goblin leader took our donkeys. We must.
He's the one.
If they haven't yet, they surely will.
Yeah.
I seriously think this is a bad idea.
Attacking it or at all, or
Yeah, they're horrible creatures, man.
Durandale,
we can take it.
So long.
So so what's your plan? Are you going to do the dig a pit thing? What are you planning on doing?
I like the lure idea. Let's
yeah,
see who we can do that.
if we try to, I think, as far as I know, the plan is to try to sneak up within like missile range of the leader, and then we all do a volley on him. Rekmit pops a lure to distract the regular goblins. We kind of focus fire on the leader, and then we clean up the rest with sound burst or just hacking them to pieces.
Bert, why don't you sneak around and see if you can get behind the leader?
Yeah, that's definitely a good plan. I'll probably refrain from the missile fire and try to sneak in behind him.
Okay.
And where do you want me at?
Right in the middle.
We're going to put you right in front of the leader. And you can tell him how bad he is and try and convert him.
You're a trap springer.
So I'm going to I'm going to draw a little map for you here. Let me see if I can get something that makes sense for you.
What did we agree upon?
So we agreed?
What did we decide upon? What's happening? I heard lure.
We are going to surprise them with a round of missile fire directed at the leader. Then you're going to chuck in the lure, and then we're going to press our attack against the leader until hopefully he's dead, then we're going to turn on the regular goblins.
I believe it's a she, but yes, okay. Then I will acquire a heavy, decent-sized rock that I can utilize to throw out there to lure whatever goblins that Bert has indicated need to be lured. I feel so used.
It's for the good of the group.
It's better than not being used.
You know, these are regular trees, right? They're not mushroom trees.
These are regular trees in the forest. So this green line here is the tree line of the clearing. This part inside is their clearing. This right here is where they are building their big bonfire. And this over here is where they have some logs set up right there and here. Okay, and so that's a sort of general, generic, and quick and dirty sketch of exactly what's going on. There are some. Might as well add this over there. There's like some sleeping bags and whatnot that are over here. Okay, like this, right? Sort of just there's just like some things over here, just piled up, sort of hay and some furs and whatnot, where you could tell they've all been kind of sleeping just in a general pile. Okay. And so you're actually coming in from the north. So if you want to move your tokens to the northern area here, and let me just put some...
And I'm sorry, how big is each square?
5 feet.
Okay, thank you.
So these 4 are setting up the bonfire with the spit. Okay, these 5. And then there are 4 over here that are sort of sitting around on a couple of logs and getting some instruction from what I like to refer to as the pretty one. Get that one right there. Okay. Just going to number these real quick. And remember that you thought that there were roughly 20 that you saw tracks for.
And which way did the trail go off?
To the south, I think, right?
Trail went off like this. That dashed blue line. Okay, that's the trail leading out.
Oh.
Are there any downed trees anywhere?
Hold on one second. There. So there probably are. They've moved much of them to the edge of their clearing because they wanted to have a big enough space to sort of do whatever they were doing for their camp. So there are some down trees, but they're all on the outskirts. They're not in the middle of the place.
I'm gonna look around like where we're at, and I'm just looking for like maybe like a 5 to 8 foot nice thickness tree. Something that I can hoist up in a tree real quick and tie off.
I'm sure you can easily find something like that.
If Bert, if you could sneak me up, I could try to throw the lure right about here.
That works, yeah. Try to catch some from both.
And possibly even some of these, because it goes 50-foot radius.
Yeah, that could work well. I kind of want to head that direction anyway because I want to sneak up on the back of the leader. So yeah, you can kind of come up with me.
Now the question is, should I use my bend light to keep us hidden, even though quiet isn't necessarily so good? I don't know. Is it worth it to use that here?
It might be.
Might be good to maybe use that as an escape if need be.
All right.
Okay.
I'm not very stealthy, so just keep that in mind there.
So what's your plan?
Oh, and everyone, remember, once the lure is out, if you notice anyone paying attention to that lure, if you hit them, the odds are pretty good that they're going to stop paying attention to it.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to hoist up a big old tree with a couple, with maybe Bernie's help and Reckman's help, a big enough, thing that if we need to run and escape, we can run past this tripwire right here, and hopefully this log will come crashing down, crushing any of them that are chasing us.
Okay.
I'll let Bert set up the tripwire so that it'll succeed.
Okay, Bert, do you want to roll a set trap check? So that is going to be an intelligence check.
Ooh, that's a 5 total.
Okay.
Good job, Bert. Excellent. It looks wonderful.
That looks really fine.
Just crossing my fingers, hoping you don't have to use it.
Your skill is amazing. Okay, so you've got that set up so that if you need to flee, you've possibly got something that can fall on your pursuers. What else?
I think we're ready to kind of sneak around to the east here. At least Reckman and I try to get close enough to chuck the lure out.
Yeah, and Zeno will move up as close into cover as I can get to the north right here, northeast.
Okay. So you're all hiding while you're doing this, or trying to move silently? Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this is an opening, right? Pretty much a clearing.
Yeah, so everything inside the green is basically a clearing. I mean, there's some small bushes and whatnot, and maybe a couple of rocks, but it's basically a clearing. There aren't any large trees inside of it.
Yeah, okay. So Leonese just needs to have line of sight. She will move up close to the edge. Moving silently.
Okay.
As an elf, so she might be moving a little slowly, but...
Yeah, so go ahead and give me the move silent rolls.
For everybody?
Yeah, for every... I mean, I assume everybody is trying to be as quiet as possible.
Are they 15 prime?
I got a 8 secondary. It's dex, right?
Yes, it is dexterity.
Right, 8 secondary.
Bart got an 18 prime.
And
Zeno also got an 18 prime.
Reckman got an 18 not prime.
Hey, some good rolls.
I'm about 50-50 so far tonight.
What?
Yeah, that's it.
What did Jake get?
Oh, Jake, yeah. He got a 4, and that's a non-prime. Sorry, a 5. 5. It's a 5.
Okay.
That was it. You made it. That saved you.
Okay. So what's the next part of your plan?
So I think Reckman and I are going to try to get up kind of close so we can do his lure.
I'm planning on chucking the lure right about here.
So yeah, maybe like the edge of the clearing here.
Okay. And then what is the plan of action at that point?
Well,
Rain hell down upon the leader.
first we're going to fire missile weapons. Then after we fired missile weapons, he's going to throw the lure. Or he can throw the lure at the same time if he's not firing a missile weapon.
Yeah, technically, I'm going to probably throw the lure.
But we don't want to.
Yeah, I think Rekmit's missile weapon will be the lure.
Because that's going to be the trigger for you guys to attack the leader.
Because it's only the one you attack that potentially breaks the mystique of the lure, right?
Anyone you attack has a better ability if they have failed to break out from it.
Yeah, okay.
I figured the goblins are probably going to mostly be attracted by the lure. There'll be some, but the main target is to take down that leader.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one who's the true danger to it. In my estimation, as a humble, very lawful, good.
So
yeah, but I don't. But I also don't want the lure to go out and then he gets initiative and we don't get the first round off at him, and he gets to act before we get to attack him.
Bernie hasn't been around when we did the lure, has he?
So the thing is that you're getting a surprise round because they don't know you're there. So everybody's going to get to do an action.
Okay.
Okay. Before the goblins get a chance to act. Once everyone does an action, then we roll initiative. And then then they might win, but you'll have already had an action.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think we lead with the lure, because even if they get initiative, then at least they could be attracted by that lure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the surprise round, you guys are trying to take out the leader.
Hopefully.
That sound fair?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
I'm not trying to metagame it. I'm just trying to play it as how we do this.
Yeah. So, and the lure has it's going to try to lure in anybody within 50 feet, which I think affects all of the goblins, right? If you put it right in the middle, because if they're 5 foot squares.
Yep.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, the goblins we know, it should affect, or at least have a chance to affect them.
And so what happens is if they fail their wisdom save, they're going to try to get to that lure, and they're going to, when they get within 20 feet of it, they're going to stop and stare at it. Okay? Now, the thing about that lure, Bernie, is if you attack them, they get to make a save against the effect of the lure again, and they get a big bonus to that save. Okay? So if they get lured in, if they fail their save the first time and they get lured in, they're going to be lured for 4 rounds. Unless you attack them. If you attack them, they get to make their save early.
Right.
Okay.
Go with the plan.
Yeah, so what's everybody going to do on for their surprise action?
Leonese is going to fire a magic missile.
At the Goblin Leader, correct?
With the Goblin Leader, yes.
Okay.
I think I have enough. I'm close enough that I can charge in and take an attack on the Goblin Leader. So I'm going to do that rather than send a Sling Stone, which might do up to 4 points of damage, try to hit him with the axe, which could do quite a bit more. I'll probably wait till everybody shoots their stuff and charge in last.
And was it the plan that once they get lured together, I throw the sound burst?
Could, but there's another group coming in, so I might want to keep that for the other ones.
All right.
Yeah.
I would say once we get the Goblin Leader down, then move down the rest of the goblins as best you can.
Okay.
If they're done by the lure, we can do them one by one, right? We could just concentrate on 1 or 2 at a time and just take them out.
Okay. Good.
And we don't know if there's reserves, because we know there's possibly...
Yeah, there's probably quite a few more around.
Mm-hmm.
And we only see 10-ish.
We count 21, and we've got, 11 in here, so there's another 10 out somewhere in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just check something real quick. Okay. Okay. So, are you ready to exercise this wonderful plan that you're running?
It's ready to go, I guess.
Is everyone,
Yeah, let's do this thing.
is everyone in the position that they want to be in?
What is this kind of black debris that's right in front of Bert here? Is it just kind of like the...
Those are their piles of furs and like
okay.
basically the goblin sleeping bags.
Okay, that's cool.
It's where they've been resting at night. So it's not like a giant pile. It's actually pretty low pile, you know.
Yeah, so I can kind of step over it if you...
Sure. Yeah.
So, Jake, do you have a ranged weapon?
No.
Yeah, so the only one of us three that's going to be able to fire is Leonese.
Yeah. I'm kind of against that whole, shooting people from away, sharp weapons.
You like to see them in their look in their eyes. As
you just like to kill them.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, this probably isn't the best place for us because we're going to waste a turn running to get to this guy. So maybe we should move further south.
Maybe you should
start around this way, maybe.
And go ahead and charge in with me then, since we don't. If I assume people had missile weapons.
I had a blowgun and I thought it was like 30 feet, but it's only like 10 feet. So.
We don't need to get in the arrow fight or archery battles with people.
Yeah.
So that I just placed on the screen, that's going to be the focus of the lure. Okay.
Right.
That looks like a wing or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
Yep. That's
So you're throwing a stone in that looks like a chicken, and that's going to lure all the goblins over.
Food.
It's a very bright, shiny chicken.
Okay, so he throws the lure. And so, what is it, a wisdom save? Yeah, wisdom save. So the other thing is, it affects any creature that sees the beams. So you all have to try to not look at the beams of the lure.
Okay.
Because it will lure you in as well.
Yep.
Okay.
Makes sense.
All right. So let me just I'm going to just roll real quick. So I'm going to do those 5 up at the top near where the bonfire is being built. First one fails. Second one fails. Number 3 fails. Number 4 fails. Number 5 fails. Okay, all 5 of those fail. On their turn, they're going to try to approach the lure. Okay. These 4 regular ones down here. first one fails, second one fails, get a new diadem, third one fails, the fourth one actually makes it. See, that's what I get for picking a new die. And then the big goblin succeeds. So all of these goblins failed except for the fourth one here, which is number 9. So I'm going to put a blue ring around him because he succeeded, and a blue ring around him because he succeeded. Everyone else is not going to actually act. Now, you don't necessarily know that yet.
Right.
Okay, so what? Everybody else gets an action too. That was just Rekmit. So that was Rekmit's surprise turn.
Oh,
Just keep in mind, everyone had the idea of attack the main goblin.
Yep. Yeah. You see this bolt come out from the north and strike that leading goblin for 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Does it look like the goblin
that
takes
magic
that
missile?
full damage?
I did
That's
a
a magic missile.
Okay.
I rolled a 21 to hit with my bearded axe.
Bernie, that misses.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Jake will be charging in. Hey, and I hit a lot worse of an RS.
What'd you get?
That would be a less than 10.
Okay, that misses. Zeno.
Zeno's going to go in and try to grapple this goblin.
Okay.
I'm going to try to manhandle it. It's going to be a total of 11 on the dice, plus 1 from strength is 12, plus 2 more for hand-to-hand is 14 total.
All right. Now I got to get out my... All right, so I gotta pull this book back out again, so I have to look up what its stats are. Should've just left
Weren't
it.
expecting that one, were you?
I was not thinking about that. All right, so you got a 14.
I did.
Okay, so the way grappling works is you make an unarmed melee attack roll. The AC of the defender with a strength secondary is 12 plus their strength mod plus their dex mod plus their size bonus. If the defender has strength as primary, the AC is 18, strength mod side bonus. If an attacker is larger than the defender, get a plus 2 AC for every size category. Minus 2 for every smaller. Should an attack be successful, the defender is held and cannot act except to attempt to break the hold. Okay. Um,
Just 12
Xeno,
plus strength. Plus.
Xeno runs up and grabs the goblin.
Nice. Nice. Good job.
Yes.
Good job.
Okay, Bert, cut its throat.
Try and stab it now without any fear of hitting Xeno.
Can you what?
Can I try and stab the goblin now that it's held, or is that probably not a great idea with the grapple going on?
You can try, but its AC is still its AC.
Yeah, don't worry about me. I've got its arms pinned behind its, chicken wing. I'm applying pressure to its kidney with my monk pressure points.
But it's not effectively prone.
Not really. He's just got its arms held behind its back.
Not yet. Next round, I'm gonna.
It can still wiggle and kick and try to,
Okay.
defend itself from Bert's attack. So Bert can still attack, but its AC is still a good AC.
If I make a successful hide check, could I still do my back attack, or would that?
So the problem is that Xeno is right behind it.
Behind it, right? Yeah. Okay. We'll just do a regular attack then.
Okay.
Ooh, that's not bad. It's an 18 though, so that's probably gonna miss.
That does miss. Okay, so now we have to roll initiative, because that was your surprise round. So who wants to roll the d10? I just rolled a 7.
I rolled it last time, so next one.
I'll go for it.
Go for it. Go for it, Bird.
Okay.
3.
Okay. So all of these goblins that failed their save are going to move until they are relatively close to this thing, within 20 feet. That includes these. It's going to go there. This one, though, succeeded on its save, so it's going to run up to Xeno and try to attack. And it misses, sadly. This is just a generic goblin. Now, the goblin that is being held by Xeno starts muttering something under its breath. And
Yeah, so it says, should an attack be successful, the defender is held and cannot act except to attempt to break the hold. The defender is considered prone and defenseless. So you were right, Bert.
it starts muttering under its breath, but nothing happens. All the rest of them are looking at the flippy floppy lure that is there. What are you all going to do?
Another magic missile. Streak comes out. 3 points of damage this time.
Okay.
Total of 8 from the magic missiles, assuming they got full. Right?
I missed with a 7.
Okay.
Is there any rule for advancing the grapple? Like if I wanted to kick out his knee and drop him face first in the dirt so that he wouldn't be able to speak?
So you would have to have somebody like shove a cloth in his mouth or something.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking we should.
Yeah, Jake.
Well, I thought about going after the one that's attacking Zeno,
Okay.
the Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't want Zeno to get damaged. One, because he's a great guy, but the other reason that I don't want to have to heal him. And lastly, creature to break free.
Those are all good reasons.
Mm-hmm.
There is not one bad reason among them.
So you're going to
So I'm
attack the other goblin, the regular goblin?
correct. That wasn't. And I'm just going to whiff at him. I'm trying to scare him back with my sword.
Okay. So Zeno, what's the verdict? What are you going to do?
I'm just going to maintain the grapple.
Okay.
You could try overbearing.
He hasn't tried to break out of it yet, so I'm going to count my blessings and let everybody else see what they can do.
Yeah, he's not very strong, so he's trying other things before he resorts to something that requires strength.
Bert will go ahead and take his bandages and try to shove them in the guy's mouth, try to stop the spellcasting.
Okay, give me a dexterity check.
Oh, that's not very good. That'll be a 7 total.
So you keep trying to shove them in his mouth, but he's moving his head around back and forth so fast that he keeps just spitting them out, and it's really hard for you to get them to stay in his mouth. Unless you put your hands closer, in which case he could bite you. So that's sort of where that sits.
Yeah, so Leonise is right. I can try to overbear him and knock him to the ground.
Mm-hmm.
He will get one extra. He'll get bonus to his AC though, his BTH. So I don't know what his BTH is, and I don't want to make him any stronger. I don't want to lose it, so I'm just going to maintain.
Rekmit, what are you going to do?
Gonna move up and use my sling. And that is a 19.
Versus which one?
The main chick.
Yeah.
The leader.
Nope. No hit.
He is. Oh, I thought he was considered prone, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he's held. So, wow, so 24. Well, maybe non-magical doesn't hit him. Or he's got a...
Roll initiative. I just rolled a 3.
Sure. Someone else failed last time.
Okay, we'll do it. I got an 8.
All right, so what would you like to do? He's starting to struggle more, Zeno. He looks like he might try to escape next time.
I'm going to drop my axe. I'm going to pull out rope. And I'm going to help Zeno. I'm going to grab hold of this guy's legs and get a grip on him if I need to make a roll or whatever. And once I do that, then I'm going to start wrapping rope around his feet.
Okay.
Around his ankles, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you start to do that. What's everyone else doing?
Bert will take another shot with the bandages, see if he can get him to stick this time.
Make a dex check.
Oh, that's better. That's 20 total.
Okay. So you manage to get enough in there that he can't move his head around too fast. And I'm assuming you're like trying to tie them.
Yeah, I'm just trying
his head. Okay. What else?
Leonise is actually just going to run up there. She can't... She can only get to about... Oh no, run is. If I run, I can do. I
Run
can't do
is-
anything else, but I can get all the way up there. I can do nothing else.
Yeah, run is 4 times.
Yeah, I can do.
So
Get there,
the
can't-
other
can't do anything else.
goblins are going to come out of it in two rounds, right?
They are going to make another save.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they get a big old fat bonus to the save. So. Jake.
I think you're muted, Jake.
Leonie shouts out as she's running up. By the way, Leonie shouts out, "Take his rings off."
There you go. Get his staff.
I missed the goblin again this round.
Okay. Give him a cure light. Give him a cause light wounds.
Yeah.
Xeno and Rekmit.
I'm going to maintain the grapple.
Okay.
Which one is the goblin? It's not affected right now by the lure?
It's the one that's just below you, or just below Xeno, I mean. He's got a blue ring around him.
All right, I will move 10 feet south, and I will throw a swing at him. 12.
That is a miss.
So Samuel, if he does decide to try to break free, is he going against my old 14?
That is a good question. Let's find out.
He's going to make his own successful grappling attack. So is your strength a prime?
Yeah. No, it's not.
Okay, so he needs a 12.
Well, but his feet are tied up, and I have hold of them.
Right.
So he's going to have a hard time having much leverage, much strength to attack with.
So I think I have a +1 BTH, so it'd be a 13. And then do I get my strength bonus even though it's not prime?
Yes, you get strength and dexterity bonus.
Oh yeah, we should be good then.
Yeah, he stops wiggling and fighting.
Do you surrender, creature?
The other one though takes a swipe at Xeno. And I rolled an 18. What's Xeno's AC?
That's going to be a hit. It's a 12.
Okay. So Xeno takes 2 damage from this thing's short sword.
Oh! He grunts in pain as the sword bites into his bicep, but refuses to relinquish.
I figured you wouldn't let go. Then we roll initiative again. Oh, I rolled a 1. This is round 4, so at the end of this round, all those goblins get to make a save.
I'll do it again. I rolled a 1 too.
Okay, so re-roll. I rolled a 7.
I rolled a 4.
Okay. That other goblin, because it hit Xeno last time, attempts it again. I rolled an 18 on the die. That's going to hit you. Xeno takes 3 damage. And
as he stabs Xeno in the back.
Yeah. All these other goblins get to make a save now against the lure, which they won't then act this round. They'll act next round if they save, but this way I'll know if they save. And I believe they get, yeah, so wisdom save. Yeah. All right, so top one starting with number 1 succeeds, second one succeeds, third one fails, fourth one succeeds, fifth one succeeds. So the third one failed again. So this one, I'm putting a bunch of lines on it because it failed, so it can't do anything. Now these bottom 3 down here, here's one of them, failed, second one failed, third one failed. My dice turned on me. So those in the bottom failed. These guys here all failed. The other goblin has quit struggling and does nothing this turn.
Okay.
What would you all like to do? The ones that don't have these marks on them, you can see that they're kind of like snapping out of it. They're kind of shaking their heads and rubbing their eyes.
I want Jake, finish tying him up and let me fight.
Okay.
Well, Jake can cast Sound Burst.
You might be. Leonis is going to say, cast that sound burst again.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
So did Bernie? Well, the question is did Bernie finish tying his legs last turn?
Yes.
I think we still probably need to tie his upper body up.
Mm-hmm. Well, you got 50 foot of rope in your hand, so I mean.
As long as my arms are like vice grips.
Mm-hmm.
I won't release him. Just kill the others quickly. This weak goblin cannot break my grasp.
That's what I'm trying to do, but I can't if I'm tying him up. Okay, I'll keep tying him up.
Are you what? So you finished tying his legs. What else are you tying?
Oh, if I can't tie anything else, then I'll...
Well, I mean, if you want Zeno to let go so you can tie his arms, that's a different story.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then I will pick up my axe.
And Bernie, you see Reckman coming in for that main goblin with a interesting fury upon his eyes.
And that'll be a 15 on the goblin that was...
That hits.
$10 points or 11 points of damage.
Yeah, he's gone.
Nah.
He is done. So that he's gone. Okay, so that was Bernie. What are the rest of you doing this round?
Bert will step over and fire his sling at one of the ones that looks like it's waking up. Maybe like number 1 over here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that attack.
Ooh, 19 on the die, so 19, yeah.
That hits.
There's 3 points of damage.
Okay, that one dies. That was pretty... These are... regular goblins are pretty weak. They are not powerful at all.
Reckman is coming in to put a counter ruin upon the leader goblin.
Which kind of ruin? Which kind of ruin?
The minor one with the offensive nature to it.
The
2 days.
Sorry.
I think it's a... I don't remember what the saving is. Intelligence save.
Which rune is he using? Sorry.
It's the Mind Calm, but with
Oh.
the counter rune as an offensive.
Yeah.
What I've killed before.
An int save? Okay. Success. Does he take half?
I believe so. Yeah. So it's 7, so 3.
Okay. Okay, he's still alive.
Wow, he's doing a fair amount of damage. All right.
So, Bert, Lenice, and Jake.
Leonese will fire her bow at one of the goblins up north. One was injured, right?
No, I think I just killed one.
Yeah, he killed it.
Oh, you killed one. Oh, okay. Well, then we'll take another one. We'll take that bow, and that's 16.
That hits.
That's like a 18 plus, and it's 5, and I get a bonus on damage. Oh, straight 5 points of damage.
And which one were you attacking? 2, 4, or 5?
I'll take 2.
Okay, it dies. Boom. They're falling down like dominoes now. Bert, Jake, and Zeno.
Bert already went. I fired the sling at number 1.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. I just did not put a check mark.
So Jake
Zeno is going to maintain the hold.
Okay. Jake?
Zeno's actually going to squeeze tighter, trying to crush his breath out of him, and just punish this goblin, trying to see if he can hear a rib break.
Give me a strength check.
Only if it doesn't break my grapple, of course.
Yeah. You're just squeezing.
That's a nat 1.
As you squeeze him tighter, you feel him kind of go motionless and kind of lock his body into place, lock his arms into place, so you're unable to maintain your hold and put enough pressure to break a rib.
It must be the blood loss.
Must be. Jake, what are you doing?
Sound burst on number.
Which one? Sorry, you cut out.
On number 4.
Okay, so you're going to do a sound burst on number 4, and it's got a 20-foot radius?
10-foot radius?
Nope, 20 foot. You can cast it within 50 feet of you is the origin where it's going to actually go off, and it makes a 20-foot radius, right? Or is it
20-foot diameter.
20-foot diameter? Okay, sorry. I read that wrong. Okay, so it's going to get 4, 3, 4, and 5 then?
Correct.
That's what you're planning? Okay. Do they get a save? No?
So they take 3 points of damage, and they make a save versus wisdom not to be stunned.
Okay, let's see. 3, 4, and 5. So 3 and 5 die. 3 and 5 just crumble, kind of like the other ones. 4, it's a wisdom save. Yeah, he fails it.
Okay.
So he's stunned. So 4 is stunned. So he won't be moving next time. Put a red on there. Okay. All right, stunned. All right, roll initiative.
Anybody else want to try?
Jake, roll it.
6.
Better than average.
All right. 9. Okay. Zeno, you start to feel the goblin relaxing. And then as it's relaxing, you realize it's not relaxing. The goblin is turning to an oozy substance and starts to melt through your hands.
He's shape-shifting. Something's happening to the creature. I'm
And
losing my grip.
within just a few seconds, like 10 seconds from the time you feel that, it's completely liquefied. And it looks like a fluid on the ground. These other goblins are still... these three failed here, and this guy's stunned. So they're all still looking at the lure, so they do nothing.
Okay.
I'm going to look to Rekmit and look at the puddle of ooze and be like, I didn't do it.
Okay.
That's okay.
So the one right by me,
Mm-hmm.
can I just reach out and grab him by the head and cut his throat, or do I have to take an attack?
Yeah, you have to make an attack, because he's not unconscious. He's just
Okay.
enamored by...
Okay. I'm 8.
Yeah, no. You hit him, but he just sort of steps back, and still
Okay.
he's focused on the lure, but he defended himself somehow.
When this blue goblin turned into a puddle, did all his possessions also turn into liquid, or
Nope.
did they just drop on the
They
ground?
drop to the ground.
Bernie?
I'm going to take out my holy water and mix it with the goo.
Okay. It steams. It steams, and it's basically like starts boiling and steaming away, like evaporating.
Yeah. I'm going to pour the whole holy water into the goo.
Okay.
Okay, well, Leonese puts away her thoughts of pouring oil on it, but okay.
In the same boat, yeah.
In that case, Leonese will shoot her bow at number 4. 14 on the die, so that's like a 17.
That hits.
And 6 points of damage.
Yeah, it's gonna kill him.
So the one that Bernie attacked, is it awake now because we attacked it and missed?
It gets another save, and I just rolled a 1, so it failed to save. So it kind of passed out of its reverie enough to defend itself from him, but then it went right. It sort of, as it was moving back away, it saw the lure again and became enamored.
Bert will go ahead and sneak up behind it, do his little back attack sneak thing. Go ahead and take a swing at it.
Okay.
So that comes to 11 total.
That's the attack roll?
Oh, actually, I've got to make a hide or move silently first. Actually, it's the same, though. It's an 11 for the hide or the move silently, either one. And then if that succeeds, I can make the back attack roll.
Yeah, make the back attack roll.
Oh, that's even worse. That'll be an 8 total on that.
Nope. But here's the thing. So, since they're all enamored, we don't need to play round after round after round. You're going to kill these 3, right?
Right.
I don't think that's in question. I think what's in question is how long it's going to be before the other 8 come back.
Right.
So I need everyone to give me a wisdom siege check. Other than Bernie, because I think Bernie's going to be going around killing all of these.
Okay.
I'm probably right about that, right?
I got no problem doing that. What I hired on for.
Zeno got a 9 total, and that's prime.
Leonese got an 8 total, and it's secondary.
Jake got a 10
16 secondary.
prime.
20 total for Rekmit.
Okay.
Right.
Awesome.
A
What did Bert get?
16 secondary.
Okay. So Rekmit, you can tell that the tree line around this this clearing something about it changed. The birds changed, the sound of animals moving in this area changed, and you get the sense that these things are coming back quickly.
I will indicate to the group that the rest of the goblins are coming from the south very soon. And I can prep another lure if we would like.
Could be good.
Has that lure gone away?
Probably by now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
How big are these piles of logs?
Lure to put down on the south side of the, whatever we want to call it.
The piles of logs, they're just a couple of logs that are there as benches. They were just...
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay. We could go back, repeat back to I don't want to leave this stuff here.
What if we lead them over to the fire, get on the other side of the fire, and then they come and charge us, and we toss a flask of oil into the fire and explode them while they're sitting around Reckman's lure?
Yeah, so while the rest, just quick point, while the rest were kind of killing those others, Leonese had cast Detect Magic on the items that were left on the ground.
Okay.
By the
by the
leader.
Yeah.
Do we have time for that?
Well, you guys are off killing 3 goblins.
I'm just hoping we find something that Reckman can use. He's needy.
If we're putting in requests, I would like a staff of healing, maybe.
Oh, so why don't we just scoop up all the blue goblin stuff, and then kind of skedaddle over to the fire or where that log is hanging up in the tree, and get ready to take on these other guys.
Yeah, but I had a round or two to do this while you guys were killing the goblins.
Yeah. Was
Okay.
there's only
the
holy water fully get rid of the goblin goo?
Yeah, it made the goblin goo boil and dissipate into steam.
Okay.
And I indicate to you, Bertie, that we were very lucky. Because...
Was it luck, or was it Xeno's huge biceps?
I will give precedent to Xeno's huge biceps. Also indicate multivariate factor ability of this goblin being very dangerous.
I'm going to retrieve my rope, unless it was ruined by the goblin goo.
No. I mean, possibly, but it doesn't look like it at this point.
Okay.
Leonese, the only thing that pings magical is the staff.
Okay. But I'll pick up all the stuff anyway. I'm going to put a note that we have a staff that is magical to be identified.
Okay, so point of order. It's already 10:30 here.
Nope.
Yes.
So
Wow.
do we need to end this and plan the ambush for these 9 returning goblins for the beginning of next session? Or do you want to play this out?
It's only 9:30 for me, so I'm okay.
Yeah, I'm okay either way.
I'm fine either way.
But I might, I'm fine.
If we end it, what are we going to talk about for the last few minutes?
That's a good
Or
question.
are we just going to be done?
We'd probably just be done.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's just do it then. Let's just kill him.
I'm intrigued as to why that goblin was so hard to hit. If the only magical thing was the staff.
It's a very special goblin
Yes.
that I don't like.
Jake doesn't either.
Let's take out these last guys.
Okay.
Let me put it this way. That was a 1 HD version of that goblin.
Oh boy.
Oh, wow.
My unwiseness worked in our favor.
So the only thing bad about standing near the fire and all that is that we're out in the open.
Oh no, we go back to the tree line and lure them towards the fire.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's the plan? You're going to go up to there behind the tree line. You're going to wait for them to come in, and then Rekmit's going to put another lure around here. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
I
think so, yeah.
think that's the idea.
Because Rekmit's like front line.
Zeno looks at Jake as he's bleeding profusely from his back and a slash on his arm.
Good Lord, man, again?
Hey, you can use a bandage.
We'll probably hide by the refuse pile, so we can throw that out in that middle area.
I always forget those bandages.
Say that again, Rekmit.
A new lure. Oh, that's definitely not the one I wanted to put down there.
Yeah.
I want to throw a lure rock somewhere down here.
Oh, you want the lure down there? I thought you all wanted the lure by the fire.
Yeah, I thought we were going to lure by the fire, then chuck oil on the fire and make it explode.
Yeah, we got a bunch of dead people and blood and stuff over this whole area, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, they're goblins, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We got to lure them someplace and then just kill them. So
Yeah, we're just going to shoot them and kill them anyway. So.
Did we ever find our donkey?
I mean, if the thing is if they fail to lure, then at least we can throw the oil in the fire and maybe get some explosion.
Yeah.
If they fail down south, then we just got to attack them.
Yeah, but they're only goblins. It should be alright.
Fine, I'm throwing my lure. In my most chaotic manner.
Where are you going to go? Here?
Hey, I got to dwarf the way I got to plan.
So I'm assuming you're going to wait until all 9 goblins are visible.
I'm going to wait until I see a bunch of goblins visible. I don't necessarily know there's going to be...
Okay.
Yeah, let them come in and see what they do with the lure.
So they start coming in, and 4 of them come in, and then 5 and 6 are actually pulling on a rope that is attached to a donkey.
How dare they?
Told you. We told them.
As soon as I know there's a donkey, the lure goes.
And then 2 more come up behind them.
That's all about honor and donkeys.
So let me roll some saves to see what happens here. So let's just number these so that we know who's saving or who's not. That's 7. Okay, so here we go. Number 1, fail. 2, fail. 3, 4, fail. 5 and 6. 5 makes it. 6 fails. 7 and 8 both fail. 9 makes it. So 5 and 9. So 5 over here. I'll put a blue on it. And 9. Oh, I enabled that 8. That should be 9. 9. So the 2 with blue succeeded on their save. Okay. Oh, and the donkey succeeded on their save.
Donkey.
It's an intelligent,
donkey.
wise donkey. That's ours. Yep.
That's our little guy.
So roll initiative. I rolled a 2.
I rolled a 7.
All right, so you all get to go before these goblins move anymore.
Okay. Birdie's going to step out and take his fighter back attack
Okay.
with a 22.
That hits.
For 10 points of damage.
Oh, yeah, it's dead. Bleh! It yells when it dies. Bleh! Okay.
Jake is going to heal Xeno real quick with a Cure Light.
Okay.
7 points of healing.
Nice.
Hmm.
All right, who's next?
Bert will fire a sling at number 9.
All right, go ahead and roll the attack.
15
That hits.
Viewers.
for 2 points of damage.
All right, it is still alive, but it is damaged.
Okay, so then Leonese is going to charge up. Can get there. Just. Attack. That's my die. And misses. 2 on the die.
Oh, yeah, that's a miss. All right, so that was Jake, Leonise, Bernie, Bert, Xeno, and Rekmit.
Oh, I could just magic missile. So, got that.
Xeno's going to double move up to the donkey and take control of it to lead it to safety next round.
Okay. And Rekmit. You're muted. You're still muted.
Son of a bucky bean. If I can tell who is not affected by the lure, I'm going to send a sling at him. A bullet. 17.
That hits.
Oh, shoot. I'm not used to actually hitting stuff. 4 points of damage.
Okay, it dies. So,
The power of Rekmit.
when it becomes their turn, they're all going to be enamored by the lure. So, these things are so weak that I'm inclined to say that you probably, Bernie asked earlier if you could coup de grace them, and I said no, because technically speaking, you really can't. When you attack them, you have to make the attack roll, and that triggers them getting a save. But these things are so weak. So, I think it's safe to say you all can very much overpower them, and so we can call the fight right here. If you say that you want to just coup de grace all of them, that can happen.
Well, I mean, we just do one by one, right? And just kill them until we do one at a time if necessary.
Mm-hmm.
How about we kill all but one of them so we can question it, what it's doing in this area?
Yep, that's a good idea. Like that idea.
Okay, so then that means you need to tell me which one you're attacking.
Did we get our donkey back?
Yeah, Xeno has control of the donkey.
Mm-hmm.
I have the donkey.
I'm happy.
Well, I guess start with the one on the west end and just go around that circle until we get to number 6, unless someone sees another one they think looks more promising, and that's the one we tie up and question.
Yep, sounds like a plan.
Okay. Yeah, even if you had awoken them, none of them made their save. So, which one are you keeping alive? Number 6?
Number 6.
Lucky number 6.
All right. So let's get rid of these. Are you gonna try to knock him out, or are you just gonna like tie him up? What's your plan with him?
I thought we wanted to question him. I mean,
Yeah,
you want to knock him out?
Well, let's just tie him up. He's already enamored.
Okay, I get my rope back out and tie him up.
I just want a donkey.
Okay. So he's tied up. Are you gonna gag him, or are you gonna leave him?
At this point, probably gagging.
Okay.
Maybe we should take him back to. We only had the one donkey, right? We got our donkey back.
Yeah.
I
Gotta find the rest of
did
them.
we only have one, or did we have two?
I don't know. I was looking through my notes and I didn't see one or
Let
two.
me find out.
It might have been just one. For some reason, I was thinking it was two, but it might have been one.
Yeah, I think it may have just been one.
If you go around to all of you and thank you for helping me dispatch that corrupted goblin.
Yeah, I have in my notes there was only one donkey.
Perfect.
So why don't we? I mean, we could go and take this one back as proof to Harfield, just to show the mayor that he's being stupid, or we could.
We could also take it to him often and use it as proof that Hatfield needs aid and that they're a goblin.
Yeah, that's the other way we could do it. We go back down and say,
Along with taking the heads of all the other ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Heads are better than ears. Ears are better than nothing.
You're gonna cut the heads off of all of them?
Yes.
But no, sir, I'm not cutting.
I got plenty of axes here. I'll do some head chopping.
I can sharpen them up for you.
Okay, so you're going to take the heads of the goblins, and then you're
Put them in a bag.
Put them in a bag.
And strap them to the donkey.
And strap them to the donkey in a giant bag, and then you're going to go back to Half Hill or
Indelhofen, I think we said.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're going to go back to Indelhofen, but we want to scour this camp and collect any useful items that we can sell.
Sure. So again, every single goblin, other than the big bad goblin, has a short sword and a dagger. So that's 20 short swords, 20 daggers. And 10 of them had short bows. And they each had about 6 arrows. So you're talking about 60 arrows total.
It's not a bad haul.
Yeah.
It's not a bad haul.
What have I got? A short bow? Okay. I'll take some of those arrows.
Yeah. So let me do a real quick experience calculation so that you'll know what you've got coming back into town.
1 XP.
Yeah, right.
That's okay, because I would have got one from episode 7 too, right? We know how much we got from episode 7.
Yeah, so the totals at the end of session 7 were Bernie has 943, Jake has 1574, Zeno has 1749, Leonise has 1574, Rekmit has 1599, and Bert has 1322. And then if you add this session,
$678.
nice try.
Like 1,000.
Yeah.
We're like 1,057 myself, but 58
I'm
actually.
telling you that blue goblin, he had to be worth some money there, baby.
Losing my XP.
I don't care about its worth. It just needs to be taken down. It's an abomination.
We had to get the donkey back.
And the donkey.
Exactly. Betty needed a friend. She's got one now. She's very happy.
All right, so session 8. Okay, so this is okay. So the total for this session for everybody is 266. Okay, so that definitely pushes Zeno over. And it, Bert was already over, but is now even more over.
Extra over.
Today's the 24th.
Okay, so it looks like the total should be Bert now has 1588, Rekmit has 1865, Leonise has 1840, Zeno has 2015, Jake has 1840, and Bernie has 1209.
Yep.
And so that is your overall
800 to go.
So that means that Zeno and Bert, when you get to Indolphin, you're gonna try to find a mentor of some sort, which will allow you to expand into second level, which means you probably need to work on another character to take on the adventure for the next couple of sessions, at least, until those weeks pass. I mean, theoretically, so if we've been tracking time, so far, you know, it's only been it's only been 7 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, since you began. really, because many of these sessions were in the caverns and whatnot in the cathedral, and so that was all on the same day. So basically, in 7 days' time, Zeno and Bernie both learned enough to know that they need to go find a mentor to expand their own knowledge base. So I think that's where we're going to end it. We're not going to have a discussion in this session because we went so long in the actual game, which I think is probably okay to do every once in a while, and so that's not a huge big deal. But otherwise, I think that is going to bring us out of here. So everybody say goodbye. And
Bye.
we
See you
will
later,
see
everybody.
you next week at the same time.
All right, cool.
Excellent.
Thanks for the game.
Thank
Yes.
you.
No.
Thanks for
Good
sticking
session.
around, Obsidian.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah, that was fun.
Obsidian
Thank you.
Risk and
It was fun.
MB1, Evie Clo win.
Everybody, we survived.